Welcome to another episode of Around the Mage Table, the podcast for the rest of us. This is episode 71. We've got some fellow podcasters here with me. We'll start by saying hello to Ayaski. I think you've got a new lighting setup for you, getting a little more professional over there. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Got the light set up this week that I had since after Christmas and was like, I'm gonna stop being lazy and set these up. So still gonna try to figure them out a little bit, but they're working for now.
Good for you, man. And what about you, Lithian? You got a new big screen monitor coming. We're going to see a whole new angle of you when you have to move this camera off your desk because you don't have any room left.
Yeah, well, maybe I could put it right in front of me so you guys aren't seeing, my bad side. Or maybe I'll put it on my good side, who knows? We'll see.
Looking
We'll
forward
see.
to it. Scrap Claw, how's the snow been treating you?
Terrible. Well, not me terrible, but my husband was clearing out the driveway for like over an hour today. It's still not
What?
melted at all.
How big is
I
your driveway?
It's
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 not.
2
It's the
inches of
ice.
ice.
It's
It's
the ice.
not
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, you can't just plow it. He literally is out there with like buckets of water, which you said don't do, but it's the only thing that works,
Don't do
and like
that.
an axe.
Yeah. So
Yep.
What?
for those who don't know, the East Coast had that ice storm first, and then we had snow this weekend. I was in the same boat as you, Scrap. I had about an inch and a half of ice on my driveway, and I literally took a shovel and just kind of like slowly pickaxe at it. I got about like a 10-foot square area opened up, and then I just said, forget it. I'm gonna pay someone with a like a big whatever big cat kind of thing, and
Like a
he came.
bulldozer.
Not like yeah, kind of like that, not as big, but anyways, he destroyed my mailbox and then got all the ice off the thing for me, so that was great. And then I had to
Oof.
God
shovel again
bless.
this weekend. So yeah, we are finally, hopefully, on the opposite end of this winter storm.
Well,
Um,
it's allegedly supposed to get above freezing tomorrow and the next day, not by
yeah,
much, but hopefully it'll
yeah,
like soften it up a little bit.
yeah.
Like,
It was
Well,
get it out of
45 here
here.
today
Good for you.
out in the Midwest.
um, sorry.
Sit out in the Midwest.
Oh,
It's
okay.
warm.
We had a great week though. On Thursday, we did our traders raid, and
Oh
I
yeah.
would say at first I was worried it wasn't going to be a huge success. Now, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. We had a lot of the viewers who watch us through YouTube come into the Discord and join us for the first time for one of our events. So thank you to everyone who participated, including our veterans. And spoilers if you haven't watched it or if you want to watch it, but it came down to the wire. We had two traders going into the last boss, and then what was the DK's name? Moon or something like that? Main?
Morn.
Morn.
Warm?
Morn. Yeah, Morn. Had made a good point to Haywire that if they hadn't like grouped up and taken out one of the traders, they were gonna lose immediately, and convinced
He
Haywire to
also
do
pointed
so.
out but he also pointed out that the traders correctly had been voting the same, and
Yes,
somehow
yes.
Haywire still fucking did what he did.
So yeah, he pointed out that who was it? Sweet Potato and Shawnee, who was our
Shawnee, yeah.
traders, were voting together, and then didn't connect the dots that Shawnee wasn't a traitor or was
Dude,
a traitor.
Haywire
Yeah.
would never believe that Shawnee would lie to him. It like literally a friendship
Haywire.
broke down.
Yeah, Haywire wanted to maintain his friendship with Shawnee, so he couldn't kill him.
I think that we need to check Haywire's bank account and see if he got a kickback of the prize winnings, because it was pretty suspicious that he threw so hard at the last second. But yeah, it
Um,
was a good
To be
time.
fair, Scrap, you thought he was
I did.
a traitor the
Hold
whole
on.
time, so
I I got kicked off immediately because the first
what
2 games I threw really hard. I'm very loud. I know that's very surprising to our
Yes.
podcast viewers. I
Yes.
command a room, and I commanded a room of 20 people to pick the wrong traders for 2 entire games, and they somehow let me live through that. So this time everyone was like, "Let's kill her first. She's always wrong." However, I correctly picked out all 3 traders very early in the game, but as things went on, I got confused. I thought Musham was being a wolf or Haywire was being a wolf for sure. I was whispering him. I was bullying him on the sideline. But it was good. It was good
Oh
fun.
my
I think that's the
gosh.
point.
It was a good time.
yeah, it was a good time, and people walked away with it saying that was amazing. We need to do more events, so
Please,
I'm
please.
gonna
It's
try
so hard
to
to
get them
organize, I
back
know.
going. For those who don't know, way back when, before we did the podcast, we used to do like YouTube shows of kind of the reason why we called ourselves Mythic Dungeon League, because we didn't want to be the Mythic Dungeon Invitational where it was like all sweaty. We wanted to do more fun games, so we did like Battleship and Connect Four and trivia, and while people were running Mythic Dungeons. So yeah, it sounds like we need to bring that kind of thing back. And I've got some ideas, and we'll look forward to talking about that
Yay.
more when the time comes. Also this week, we have officially kicked off the Frank Posy Jar, or Toxie Jar, I should call it, because that's what it's contributing towards.
Has it only been a week?
It's only
How's that
been since
possible?
Tuesday. I think I put it up Tuesday
Oh, God.
with the launch
It's
of the
been a
patch,
rough
or
week.
launch of the raid. So yeah, I've already deposited $30 into it. One, I was kind of like, well, that was just a joke, whatever. But the other two, I was genuinely being toxic. So not off to a great start.
You
I'll
were
get better.
surprised.
Oh, and I have a feeling by the time that BlizzCon comes around, I'm going to be probably in the 4 digits deep of owing money
I hope
to
so.
this.
I feel like
we're shooting
it's-
for 5, bro.
I feel like it's hard to. I didn't. It's hard to recognize that it's only been like 3 days of you doing the toxic jar, because like it's multiple hours of me and Lithian pushing and pushing and pushing you like really hard. Like you were putting in
no.
effort, but you just keep. You
What's
just like
funny
one slip
is-
is all it takes.
What's funny is the slips aren't even like provoked. It's just, you know,
No.
something happens. He'll just be like, "Oh yeah, you parsed a 0."
Yeah.
0, bro.
No, he said LOL, you parsed a 0 in text and thought he was gonna get away with that.
That's the thing. I catch myself when I'm like boiling over, because we've been running a lot this week with Pleb, who's a longtime MDL veteran, and his routes have been an acquired taste. And so
I don't know if they can even be really called routes. Like
You're not right. You
he's
just press NW.
it has been chaos, right? And
The
you know,
funny-
like obviously it's just all fun games. Who really cares? So I've been able to like reel myself back in. But then I'll see some bit of like, for example, a 0 parse, and I just can't help myself to go, LOL, 0 parse.
dude, I can't. If I see a 0 parse, it's over for whoever that person is for the night. I mean, just remember when I beat Lithian by half a
Gosh.
billion damage, and I'm still talking about
Oh.
it. Like I can't let go stuff like that.
Thank God we did our no UI challenge like twice, so that I didn't have that one win over my head that you would always throw at me forever.
Yeah, I can't
So.
do that.
Okay,
Dude,
well,
yeah.
we let's see, we had a huge week. We had the State of Azeroth going on, and I think there's not been too much else going on in the world of like drama. I will cover a couple things before we get into the State of Azeroth, so let's jump straight in. And we will start with, this is a PSA, okay? I'm only saying this because I know people are out there losing their minds. But if you are watching this video on Monday, you have probably about 1 day left to get your Grub Run World Quest done on the servers. Even if you don't think you're going to do this meta achievement anytime soon, go on ahead and get this done, because I can't imagine what it's going to be like when you come back to do this content. And this damn World Quest that's been holding everyone from getting the meta achievement is not available. It's available now. Go do it before it's too late. So that's just my little PSA
But
there.
presumably it'll be in regular rotation. Like the reason it wasn't in is because it was not working. So I thought they fixed it.
So that's a good assumption. However, I wouldn't
Good
trust, you know, Blizzard further than we can
Wow.
throw them.
My goodness.
So
What's changed this year? I feel like
no, I
you
think
don't
it's
trust
always
them
fair to
now.
not trust them. I would just say, like, don't need to be a dickhead about it, is my philosophy, right?
Right.
Like give empathy if you can, but in this case, I don't trust that they're going to fix this. It's just like it's
Frank,
probably so
don't be
low
toxic.
in the backlog. They're like, who cares? But they don't realize those that like 300,000 people care. So that's
Is it
that's
still
my
bugged, or like what was wrong with it?
so according to the forums,
Never hit.
someone who put a ticket in was told by a GM that it's a known bug and that they're trying to resolve it. And then of course it didn't show up for like 2 months after that. It did populate now,
Oh,
so
okay,
to
okay.
Scrap's point, maybe it is fixed. I'm not willing to take that risk for y'all, so this is just my PSA. If you're watching this video, you
know-
haven't logged in a couple days, and this is something that's holding you back from the meta achievement, go and log in now.
I was looking at something on Wowhead that was unrelated to this, and I did go into the comments of that to check something out, and there was a fixed Grub Run there.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
they just got
Yeah,
sick
they
of
were
seeing
There's
that,
a lot
and
of
they're like,
angry people.
So just a little PSA.
Was it
if this is-
haywire?
If this,
Probably.
yeah, Haywire and Frank, but if this is the only quest you have that's holding you up for the meta achievement, and you've been holding it for months, you know,
Yeah.
it's probably upsetting.
Well, and the good news is I saw some quests that were randomized in Hellfall, but I got those done a couple weeks ago. And so it wasn't a huge deal. I knew it would happen sooner or later. It's happened. Go on and log in. Let's keep moving. So
Yep.
Okay.
this was a big blue post that kind of got a little misconstrued, but I want to go ahead and kind of clear the air around it. So there was a blue post essentially, sorry, this was in the WoW Discord first and foremost, essentially saying that they are not going to be making, so here, the RC process for 12.01 has begun, and while beta build this week is likely not going to be the final release candidate is RC, we're getting close. As a result, only very high priority issues are being worked on in 12.0.1, mostly exploits, but to a smattering of remaining high priority add-on dev requests. Once we get closer to launch, we'll release a list of tasks we plan to work on for 12.0.5, and you can have a better idea of the upcoming roadmap. And this is, again, all UI related. So a lot of people heard this and started freaking out going, oh God, they're done working on the UI. Before I jump into that point, I do want to call out there is something that they did really like that's awesome going into this week's beta that came out, 3 days ago, whatever. They have effectively allowed it so that add-ons can change the specific color of an encounter event. So like if there's a really important spell that you want to keep an eye on throughout the bars, they've added that ability back for example, DBM and boss mods. But apparently they've also added it to the client. And they've also added you know how like some spell effects will have a 5-second countdown where it'll go 5, 4, 3, you know?
Yeah.
They've added that ability back as well. So that's going to be
Okay.
big for people who kind of like need to get ready for a big event. But the big thing that stood out to it, and there was a YouTuber, I'll post this video, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but there's a YouTuber who like really deconstructs these changes, and it was really insightful. He was calling out that he thinks that Blizzard's going to be adding this kind of functionality where you can set different spells and you know, kind of whitelist, blacklist to a degree. I'm not sure if they'll fully allow it like that, but will allow the ability to set colors to the cooldown bars or the countdown bars for specific spells within the UI. And again, in base UI, not even bigwigs, which you know will be able to do this as well, but in the base UI. And so this could be a huge step forward to that idea of whitelist blacklisting. And again, something we may see within the base UI. So I just wanted to call that out. I thought that was really cool. They are trying to fix, we talked about this, I think, last week, flagging certain quote unquote auras, which again are, you know, spells and effects like that, that will not show up on the raid frames that are unnecessary. The good example that he brought up in the video was like, for example, the exhaustion after bloodlust. You know, you don't need to see 20 people in the raid.
I don't like seeing that on my, like, I moved my buff and debuff bar down where I can see it better, because like that's something I can move around now, and it's so annoying. It's like that I'm always seeing
It's gonna
it.
well,
Like,
you're gonna still see
that
it
somewhere
there
else.
until blacklist whitelist is added in, which again I'm not even
know, I
sure
just
if the
wish we could
blacklist
put it
whitelist will get
somewhere
that granular,
Yeah.
because I don't even think old UI elements would allow that kind of, you know, blacklisting. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, weak auras would.
It would allow you to remove or debuffs from your aura tracking.
It would allow you to move it around and put it places,
Yeah, but you can do that now.
and just like hide that entirely
There-
and take pieces of it.
All right. Anyways, but this is more about the raid frame scrap. So like again, when lust
I
is
gotcha,
used,
yeah.
in a like for example, the mythic
You're
lust.
looking for some important debuff, and
Yeah.
you see that in the way.
Now it's yet to be seen what spells will be, you know, flagged under this. They didn't give a list, of course. But my understanding is, and again, based on this video, is this is to address the concerns that we were talking about last week, where they had to literally go into the Lua files of the game and make those edits manually. So hopefully that'll be good news for healers out there. But again, yet to be seen. So don't trust Blizzard further than you can throw it. That said, they wanted to put out a blue post after they saw this making the rounds on Wowheads, calling out that Blizzard's not done with the actual UI of 12.0.1. They just wanted to call out to the add-on developers that they shouldn't expect to see huge API restrictions changed before it, so they can start kind of finalizing their builds.
That's good.
And we actually have even seen this because on, again, we called out some of the things that they changed this week on the UI. But I'll pull it up real quick. They also have a new, like, death. Yeah, here. So they added this to the beta, which is enemy damage taken. So now you can actually see who did the damage to a mob, which is one of the things that makes
That's
me very...
important.
Yeah, it is important. One of the things that makes me toxic, though, is when I go and sit there and say, hey, you remember that thing we're supposed to be prioritizing? And then, you know, Scrap's name is somewhere off the page over here.
You mean it at the top?
Not
So
at the
that'll be
top.
important. But those things are still coming. All right. So I just want to call it out in case you read the first story and didn't read the follow-up to it. the question I have though
But
is,
yeah,
sorry, go on, Lithium.
hold on, Frank. You know what's most important is resetting the damage meter after every key.
Well, that's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
I've been failing to do that.
That was supposed to be. I
I
mean, it
thought
might
that
be in
was in
the.
here somewhere.
Well, I think it's in the blue, the patch notes for beta 8. I don't think it's in this
Oh.
I mean,
group
like,
right here.
I could probably get used to doing that, but I haven't yet, and it's very annoying.
Oh, it's so annoying, man.
It is annoying.
And I thought you
Anyway,
said
sorry.
details can't even do that right now. Is that right? It can't reset itself.
Somebody said details can, but it didn't work for me.
Well, anyways, it'll be a welcome
So-
change when it does finally make it into the game. But yeah, so my question is, we kind of have a end in sight, and if we rewind 3 months ago when I kept bootlicking for Blizzard saying they have time,
Mm,
I
yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
we are in agreement based on what we've talked about in the past couple days. Do you guys think that this is something that 95% of WoW players should be? This is okay, this is good, and we're happy, or do you still think there's problems in the immediate sight?
I'll be the first person to eat my hat a little bit on this, because like 3 months ago I was like the biggest dooming about this specifically, that they were gonna get rid of
Oh my
the
gosh.
add-ons and put their own add-ons in, their own damage meter in. And it's like we haven't seen it yet, but they're guys, we're gonna do it. It's like, oh god, dude, no. Now having played with it for a bit, what they've implemented, the game is very playable. I'll give it that. There's definitely things that could be improved, but I'll say I'm surprised that it works as well as it does. Now, mind you, I might be one of the lucky specs where it works as intended, and I'm sure some people are like struggling with blacklist, whitelist, making it very obnoxious to play their classes the way they used to. But I for one will say, like, I could play this, entire expansion with what's here now. Like even
Cool.
the terrible bars, which I don't think are functional to the point that I would like them to be, but they're functional enough for me to enjoy it, I guess.
Have you added
Yeah.
anything back to the UI or
No,
add-ons again?
the only add-on I am gonna add on back is the circle around my cursor, because I have to place the grenade things. I can't remember what they're called, flame fang pitch. And when there's so much shit on the ground, I can't see where my fucking mouse is to put it. And I do like a point and
Wow.
click, so I don't see the big circle on the ground either. And a lot of times I have to whip my mouse around like 3 times until I'm like, oh, there it is, and then I put it, and then it's like that's valuable time that I could have been like moving out of something or pressing one of my buttons. And so that's just a frustration I've had that I think I do need to add an add-on in for.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy
Anytime-
little thing, right?
Easy
Anytime I
thing.
see that fire on the ground, I put a ring of peace on top of it to make sure the mobs bounce out. It's fine.
Really
I
cool,
ask you-
Lithian, really cool.
I ask you, I feel like
Yeah.
you have again, I feel like you're more dooming by the day. This is based off of what I've seen from you on Twitter. I don't hear you talking about it a lot. So I'm curious to see your opinion of how things are going into the actual launch.
Going into this actual launch, I think they've made really great strides and improvements with what they've been putting out there. And right now on beta, and I guess in theory and retail too, because I know like the pre-patch is pretty close to what beta is. I'm really only using, I think, Platinator right now as an add-on. And the only other add-ons I have are like Ellesmere released a beacon tracker, which I'm thankful he did, because that it's basically the weak aura he used to have when someone like the beacon on them dies, to like reset it, which I definitely needed that. So I'm glad he put that out there. But the actual base UI stuff, I think most of it's functional and good. At least for now. I think there's probably some improvements they can make when they go into 0.5, and a lot of it's mostly raid frame stuff. But I think any kind of like cooldown manager stuff, it's a lot better than I thought it would be going into it for sure. And
Yeah.
being able to get the Platinator a good profile for it, and now that they're having the interrupt casts being pulled from the pile of nameplates to the front when those casts are coming, that is improving a lot too. So even though I was dooming, I think it's getting better.
You had mentioned that. I haven't seen this firsthand yet, and I did see something in the notes saying that they were going to make spell visibility or like the cast bar visibility better. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that.
So right now, if you played pre-patch and let's say you're doing like something like Priory and all those casts are going off, the nameplates they'll stack when you have them set to stacking, but sometimes they still kind of overlap, and sometimes it's kind of busy, and those casts kind of get lost in the behind some of the other ones. So now what'll happen is when there's a cast going off, it'll come to it'll kind of highlight that one and kind of bring it to like the front. So let's say, like in Skyreach, the one kick on the sun guys is important.
Yep.
So it'll pull that one up so you'll know, okay, I got that one, and then you can do that and make sure you get that kicked and it's not lost. Now, if there's a lot of casters in a pack, I did see earlier today on one of the polls that I did, I think in Magister's Terrace, there was, I think, one with a lot of those things that cast like bolts and then the polymorphs. Unfortunately, those can kind of get lost in each other because I don't think it really understands what to prioritize in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
So there's still some improvement that could be there, but yeah, that's basically how I've seen it work so far.
And also, if the mobs are moving, the nameplates are kind of still doing that shuffle dance. So
Yeah.
tab targeting, we were talking about this a little bit last night. Like tab targeting still doesn't feel the way it should. Now, granted, I don't know how to solve it, but
here's what I need, and I might just get an add-on for it, is that when I'm targeting something, the bar changes color. Because there's so many times where I'm struggling. I'm just not used to what they look like. I think is part of it. But like I'm
Yeah.
struggling. I'm like, I see a cast going off and I kick it. I'm like, wait, fuck, I wasn't targeting that
Yeah.
guy. I was targeting the other guy.
Which
so
can
I
be
need
solved
some
with
way
an
to
add-on, though, yeah.
distinguish. Yeah, I
Yeah,
probably
play-
am. That's something I'm gonna dip into for an add-on. But if they put it in the base game, I
All the
think
better.
that's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and they do have that in Play Nader. You can change how you want the bar to highlight. So, for example, when I'm targeting something in my profile, it'll have like two little arrows that are pointing into it, and then it'll put a white border around the nameplate, so I know,
Oh.
okay, that's the thing I have targeted. And then if I put something as a focus, it'll put like a blue border around it, so I know, okay, this is also focused.
I think
So
before
that's good too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think before midnight, actually, I'm gonna put that one in, and I'm gonna put the circle cursor, and that's it. That's it. That's all the
I've
add-ons.
advocated, and we actually had someone come in and tell us that they think this is a bad idea, but I still advocate for the focus macro
Plus.
kick system because then you don't have to
So
worry
if
about it
you're
at all.
ranged, if you're ranged, focus macro kick is great because you can just do it from wherever. But if you're in melee, you still have to be in melee with the guy you're kicking. So it's like I feel like
Sure.
it's less useful
Hold on.
because like I need to
Hold
go
on.
over to that guy anyway. Oh, go on.
Sure.
Oh, here we go.
But don't you have
Sure.
to do that in the current state?
Yeah, but I'm just saying you advocating heavily for focus macros for kicks. It's like, yeah, that's great, but I think some people don't feel like they need it as much. Like if I'm already in melee, I already have to go to it. I already have to click on it. Like it's
No,
not
that's the
as
point. You
helpful
don't
as if
have
you're
to.
ranged.
Okay, so the idea is, let's say you're in melee, right? And you're sitting in front of 4
Mhm.
mobs, and you've got mob A selected, but mob C is starting to cast something, but you focused it.
Yep.
What you do is you create this kick macro that if you have a focused target, it'll kick the focused target and not even deselect it. Well, maybe it does deselect it for a half second, but like not even deselect your main target that you're focusing or sorry, you're attacking. And yes, of course, if you're not in range of it, it won't work, but it also won't waste your kick because you'll be out of range when you attempt to. Whereas if you try to do it currently, you will just tap target 16 times and miss the target and then miss your kick, right? So
That's what I'm used to doing at this state. So,
so let's just keep doing shit. All right,
Just keep
Lithian,
doing it.
you have been playing more heavily into the add-on space. I've heard the word fatality thrown around 6,000 times in the past week. For those who don't know, fatality is what Lithian's add-ons will shout at them anytime there's a Lua error. So, how's your add-on experience going, and do you have any plans to dial it back, or are you going to add on more?
I'm trying to figure out how to create an auto marker, by the way, which is
Yeah,
Oh,
freaking
we need that.
impossible.
not if you have
I know,
the focus
I'm-
macro kick, but whatever.
I
Shut
I have
up.
half an add-on built to help me with that, but either way, no, I think it's good. A lot of the Lua errors that I get aren't really impacting the gameplay or anything. It's just annoying stuff because because they can't get into some of the secrets or something, there's something happening. I found an issue with some of the wrappers that they put around the cooldown manager. A lot of those are kind of buggy. But I I can usually just I don't know, muck my way through most of those little errors and try to fix things here and there. But no,
But the
it's
average
been
user
good.
couldn't,
I
though,
have
right?
no, I mean maybe, I don't know. I don't know how many smart people are out there. Um, but
I was going
I
to
use
fall into the
Plater.
toxie jar there. I was going to
Yeah,
go and reach into it.
it
I
was
pulled
bait.
myself
It was
out.
bait. I was baiting. Um, no, I use Plater, and I enjoyed Plater as an add-on. I use LVUI begrudgingly, but it's fine. Um, I tried Neff's cooldown manager wrapper, but it's kind of terrible. A lot of the Neff stuff is terrible.
Well, I
I
thought
don't like
it's
it.
like, isn't it broken now? He's just given up on it, I thought.
Yeah,
No,
Neff
he's
isn't making it
still
anymore.
no, he's somebody's contributing to it because it
Oh,
still gets updates.
okay.
It's been
Mm.
getting updates. And there's a couple, like I was trying details out and comparing it to, the Blizzard damage meter. And there's a couple other ones that I like that are out there. So it's it's been pretty clean mostly.
Okay.
So
Well, other than that, I think we can talk a little bit about speculation of what's coming with the roadmap slash State of Azeroth. Quickly though, I did want to talk about the Holy Paladin chaos that happened over the week. So I only bring this up because both
which
Ioski and I
phase?
will be. You're still planning on maining your Holy Paladin, right?
So it's complicated because late last season, in order to fill a need, we got a second Holy Paladin in the guild, and um she's pretty good too. And I think if she ends up wanting to main it, I put in our little sign up for raid next year. That I would be willing to play something else if she really wants to play it, but I'm hoping we'll either run two if it ends up being good, or but I would like to main it. Yes, I don't know if I will, but I would like to.
What
Is she better than you?
No.
Okay.
I was,
I
Well,
love it.
no. Oh
I
no.
I might have some better gear though. I had some better
Him
gear at
saying
the
no is a
time,
little
so
toxic. I don't know what you guys think.
I know it wasn't toxic, but I'm
It's-
surprised he didn't go for any kind of political answer. He just was
No, he
like
just said
fully
no.
no. Yeah. I mean, that's how I would answer
Great.
that question too.
Great.
I was very
Oh
I,
my
I was
gosh.
I mean, I don't know exactly, but when she came in, I was already like really like on guard. I'm like, this is my turf. I gotta defend it. So I was healing my butt off.
got sweaty.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
no, she's
well,
pretty good.
what happened this week was they made a pretty drastic change to the Paladin playstyle, a Holy Paladin playstyle, by making Crusader Strike come back into the rotation. Within 2 days, 3 days, they reverted the change and then buffed
A
the
day.
hell a day. Well, not even. They buffed the
wait.
hell out of. Sorry, what's crap?
They gave them the button and they took it away. I only heard about them giving them it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Were
I
they
think
were
on
they
Tuesday.
asking for it?
No.
Ooh, that's okay.
It's
That's the spicy.
complicated.
Yeah, go on. I ask you.
They-
Tell us the
So-
complication.
Yeah.
So the answer begrudgingly to the people that will tell you otherwise is yes, they were asking for this specific button back, not in the way that it was, but in the way that
Right.
they wanted an extra button pressed
Oh,
because
okay.
they felt the rotation was very boring, but they also kind of wanted it to serve a function. But the problem is the more vocal of the people giving feedback were just talking about, hey, this is boring. We want our extra button. And I think the devs in that situation thought that, okay, yeah, we'll give them a button back. We'll just make it work like it used to. And then they were like, well, it was like a monkey paw. And then they're just
Oh,
like, oh
okay.
shit. Like,
But it was like deeply unfun to press, or like just wasn't good.
yeah.
or-
So
Well-
basically that button with the talent reduces the cooldown of two other buttons that make your rotation play a bit more smoothly because they
so
all
it's like
kind of like work
CDR. Okay.
together. Yeah. But what they did
I
is
don't
they
think I
took
have
that
those
away and
talents.
made it so that the two other buttons basically just did that for each other. So you didn't even need that anymore. And so it was a lot
Oh.
smoother. And the button you were hitting more was Holy Shock, which is a heal and a damage, so it was nice being able to have a more consistent way to access that and to hit that more, and also its range. So this is
Yeah.
not only is it a melee ability, it's like a melee range ability. Like you got to be all up in their ass to get them with it.
Who is this
So
person who's so like who's this person who's so plugged into the plight of paladins? They knew about this and they knew to take it away right away. Like, why is there anybody in the
That was gonna
survival
be my
Discord
question.
like ever?
So
Like, what the
my
fuck?
question was going to be this.
what's
Okay.
insane? That's
Yeah.
insane.
Ellesmere was crashing out to his Ellesmere normal, capacity about this being a terrible change. And I mean, I think in fairness, like I didn't like it when I played it on beta. I ask you didn't really like it, right?
Playing with it because they haven't put the reversion on beta yet, and I played with it a bit, and I've been using the other node that doesn't reduce the cooldown. I really liked not having to use it. If I
Yeah.
had to use it, I could, but I'm excited that they got rid of it
Yeah.
again.
I agree. And that being said, like I play the Avenging Crusader where that still comes back for that spec or that town build.
Yeah.
And that's fine because in the moment, like I kind of like set myself up to think I need to go into melee. But the big complaint was they were making Holy Paladins melee healers again.
Yep.
But within a day, they like said, "Oh, cool, we hear you guys. This is like universally hated. Let's get this fixed." In contrast to Mistweavers, right? Who
Yeah, and
Uh,
let's not hold on. Let's go back a second. They didn't just say, "Hey, we'll
Yeah.
take that away again." They buffed the shit out of a lot of other stuff.
Who
By
is
the
the
way.
holy paladin that has the devs by the balls? Like somebody must have
Ellesmere,
devs on
Ellesmere.
someone.
That's what I asked. I said,
Yeah.
what do we have on these guys that they're just like,
Yeah.
were they on Epstein's Island? Like, what the hell?
No kidding. It's got to be something
The
like
emails
that.
came out Friday. They said, "Oh shit."
Yeah, somebody's got dirt.
But meanwhile, Miss Weavers did get a little buff on Tuesday or whatever day it was, where it was like their Thunder Focus Tea had a slight cooldown reduction and some things with it. But it's like not near enough to like stop Megaset, who is like, in my opinion, one of the most like genuinely helpful and level-headed players of WoW, who like even when they're dooming is like really kind about it. And yeah, it's just like that's not happening for Mistweavers. I don't know what they've done to like not earn this kind of reaction, even if
I've,
it's like incremental and slow.
Somebody's made a decent point about spec popularity, but even then, I feel like how popular a spec is doesn't really change how much
Yeah.
time you allocate for these changes. And I was talking about it with some people on beta earlier too when I was doing some keys on there. There's some specs that have like Death Knight and like Mage that just get changes every single cycle. And then you have classes like Feral, which don't get touched at all, or Mistweaver, which barely get touched if they do. And it's crazy I would really love to get some transparency on how they make those decisions on when to do that stuff.
I have asked this question before, and what I gathered from people like Leo and Lithium may have even said some stuff like this is like, there are like a certain amount of people who carry a certain amount of classes as a class designer. Sometimes it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, like one person is taking care of all 3 mage specs as an example. And then
Right.
other times it's like, oh, this person has feral and evoker, augmentation, whatever. And so like they're making decisions, but their decisions like have this constant flow of thought that works for one spec but doesn't work for the other one they're working on, and it's just like they don't see that, like they can't see the forest through the tree, whatever. And so that's like the problem, is that they're like,
Gotcha.
Again, that could be complete hypothetical, but I think that's just where it is.
If I were to give an opinion on what I thought, I would assume it's just like squeaky wheel gets grease. Like if the paladins are causing so much drama, they're threatening to shut down their Discord. Like,
Well, that was the Ret Paladins, and
I
they
mean-
didn't get really what they wanted, and they were also kind of wrong because like they didn't need to make any more changes and everything was fine.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. I would love to see like if there who's working on what specs, like if there's like a correlation, like maybe the people who work on the paladin is just like they're a super go-getter, they really want to work, and then there's somebody who's just like a nepo baby who's pulling the wires for feral. I don't know.
I'm willing
I
to
will
bet.
say-
Don't ask you.
I was gonna say, I will say, Ellesmere in particular does a really good job at giving really specific feedback on areas he thinks could be improved. So if you're a dev, I could see you being able to take that and go, okay, here's ways I can implement that compared to, some other, like, I haven't seen, Mistweaver's issues are a bit more complicated, maybe,
Yeah.
where
That's
it's
true.
not as easy as just switching some numbers around. So
What's
Yeah, and
what's the meta healer right now? I don't play a lot of healers, so I don't know. I haven't
probably
been keeping
Resto
track.
Druid.
I heard Resto Druid. I heard
Resto
Resto
Druid.
Shaman's pretty strong.
Oh,
Although
I've
a
seen
little
a-
boring, but
High
it's been a
keys, I feel
while since
like a lot
Resto.
of people are playing Resto Druid, and I think a lot of people are also playing Disc Priest. I don't know how much stronger that is, but I think Disc Priest and Prop Paladin tend to go together, and it seems like people really want to be playing Prop Paladin right now. So
I definitely feel
How
like since Resto Druid like has been doing like no damage and you've had to like weave it, cat weave and stuff. I don't know
none
if
of the
that's
healers
part
do
of it,
damage, really.
but people don't really play Resto in keys for like the entirety of War Within, I feel like, and part of Dragonflight. So it's like, okay,
they
it's nice
do.
to see
They
them
do.
back
I
on
just
the
don't think we
table.
see them
Well,
that often.
Very few and far between though. They didn't have like a time in the sun like Resto Shamans did, where it's like everybody played fucking Resto Shaman, and then there was a season where everybody played Priest. Resto Druids were
I think
consistently under the radar.
I thought Resto Druids were popular. I thought there was a lot of them out there, but either way, it
they're
doesn't matter. My question was, how many changes have Resto Druids had over
Um,
over the span of time that because like I don't see a lot of Resto Druid changes, but I see a lot of I see the Holy Paladin change. I've seen some Mistweaver changes, and I'm trying to figure out if they think, hey, Resto Druid is where we want to be with all the other classes. Maybe it's hey, how do we get there and
it's
balance
a
things
benchmark.
out?
Yeah, and I
Right.
think that has a lot to do with, for some reason, Dragonflight, War Within, and now Midnight just happen to have these dungeons that have these really specific kind of pulsy damage profiles that kind of favor that Resto Druid or Disc Priest, the way they can kind of ramp up the heal to accommodate for that kind of damage. Like if you have all your hots out, it's, you can fight that pulsing damage easier if you're a Disc Priest and you're ramping and when you've got your little Shadow Fiend out, if you're doing that or whatever, you can keep up with like a damage rotation to heal everyone up for whatever the damage is. And I think it's mostly just they don't necessarily design the dungeons to be for every single healing profile. And I think when those two aren't good, the reason why Resto Shaman kind of rises up is because they just happen to have a lot of really good utility. They're not necessarily the best, but they can just do a lot. And that's why they end up kind of taking that spot. And everyone else is just they're not really there unless they're OP kind of deal.
Well, a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
also
mean, it's nice
argue.
to have the heroism and like also the kick, the quick kick, now the only
Or power
kick,
infusion.
and a lot of stuns and things.
Yeah.
Power infusion's good, but you gotta have somebody who's good to use it on.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Is
though
that you,
bring
Scrap?
a lot of people bring
Oh,
Resto
okay.
Druids though because they have Mark of the Wild. So if you don't have a
That
bear
too,
tank,
yep,
which is
True.
usually not meta, and you don't have balance and feral,
Balance
which
Druid, yeah.
usually isn't meta.
Balance was good sometimes in War
sometimes, yeah.
Within though. Like
yeah.
All right.
Or Guardian
yeah,
Druid.
definitely for the high keys, you start to need Mark of the Wild more. Like it is the difference, so that makes sense.
Do you want to take a quick look at Lithium meta list and see if there's any changes?
Has it changed?
I just want to talk quickly about
you can look
the-
at it, but there's changes I haven't published that I got today from Petco's video that he just put out.
yeah, Resto Druid right now is
And
the meta. Let's scrap.
Archon also changed, and I was looking
Hey,
at
that's nice.
But
that.
augmentation, apparently, I just wanted to bring it up, is on the up and up. And Rigo, our native evoker, has been saying it. I feel like I know it's going to be meta because Tettles has switched to it.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Is that
That's a good litmus
that's
test.
my barometer, yeah.
Hey, listen, whatever Tettles switch to per season, you should put Tettles in parentheses underneath. Whatever
The
tier
Tettles
it
spec.
is, the
I
Tettles
love
tier.
that his Og's name is Ogles, which makes a lot of sense, but it's just kind of funny.
Ogles is a really cute name for an Og.
Yeah.
Evoker.
But are you guys worried at all about augmentation being the new meta? Or
No, I love
re-meta?
augmentation. I think it's fun.
Okay.
It wasn't
I think
really
it's fake.
it was in a bit of a sore place in Dragonflight where it felt like the key level became like 2 keys lower if you had an Augvoker. Like it was just so much better for
If you had
the
a good
healing
Augvoker.
and well, yeah, if you had a good one, but how hard could it be, right? Like
Have
I,
they made any
I don't know,
changes
but
to like the defensive power that it used to have, or
yeah.
is it just buffing
They did.
people
They did
better?
when they nuked it in the ground. I don't think they brought much of it back though. I don't know for sure.
Gotcha.
I love the idea of an Aug roll. I just kind of I hoped they expanded. I'm glad they didn't kill it. I thought more within what they were doing was like actively intentionally killing it. But it seems like that wasn't their philosophy. So that makes me question why were they doing that? They just literally didn't know how to
I think
give it a
yeah. I
roll.
think that was like,
But
hey, we just need to temporarily squash this and we'll rebuild it later.
it's crazy what they did to those guys. I mean, luckily the only people playing it were like meta chasers anyway, so they were like, except for Rigo. Rigo's like the one guy who's like a big Aug fan, I guess. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a
Aug
handful
does
of you
have
out there.
its enthusiast. Yep.
But the people who I feel like the majority of the Aug players were only playing it for the meta, so when they crushed it into the dust, I feel like there wasn't that big of an outcry for them. Like there wasn't like a ton of
So-
people who were like, not my spec, no.
You
You
see
know?
that table there that says rankings over time?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something where I track some of the changes and
Volatile.
see how see how they change over time and see how people start to shift as it gets closer, because as pre-patch starts to come to a close and they get ready for the launch, then you're going to start to see more people really set on, hey, this is what we think meta is going to be. And I'm just trying to track some of those changes
cool.
just because it makes me feel better.
The meta, man.
Um,
This is great.
So yeah,
Such
just
a
trying
great
some
idea.
different things. It's
You know,
such a
maybe
great
one day
idea, yeah.
you'll be recognized, Lithian, for bringing meta into the meta, timeline of everyone using it.
I feel like it's so neat.
Yeah,
We
probably
love
not.
people love aggregation, right? Like it's like I don't want to just look at someone's tier list. I want to see all these streamers' tier lists. Like it's here. Come check it out. Lithian's got
He
some
links them too.
deets.
He
He's
doesn't
got
even try to take
info.
credit for it, right? He tells you who it is.
Yeah, he links
Oh wait,
them.
hold on. You got to delete
No,
this
if you
one.
go all
then.
the way, if you go all the way to
Oh,
Quasi,
rip.
you put out a video. If you go all the way to the bottom, there's citations, and you can go to every
Yeah,
single
but
one of those
Quasi's isn't there
videos.
This is
anymore.
great stuff.
No,
'Cause it's
it
deleted.
might be. Yeah,
Video
it's
Oh,
unavailable.
no.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
tough. So wait,
that's
what's
tough.
the update on that drama? Because I haven't heard.
He
There's no
he
update. He's
really
almost
quit.
No,
he
there's
almost
no
certainly
update.
did steal. Almost certainly did steal.
Okay, we knew that though, because he very guilty behavior leaving the WoW
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, but he's
Like-
since left. Now, I
Wow,
did
country.
hear via some other podcasts that apparently he did the same thing in Shadowlands. He said, "I'm quitting WoW because Blizzard sucks," and of course, they were in the middle of all those allegations against Blizzard too, and came back. So,
What was
we'll
the
see.
timeline? How quickly did he come back in Shadowlands?
I
Was it a
think,
week? Was it a month?
Well, I was gonna say, I think it was right as the Dragonflight beta had come around.
Okay.
Because that's when Technique started. Obviously, I'm not gonna say anything toxic. Technique
Technique?
started watching him. There we go. And yeah,
Oh.
so Technique texted me.
Dude, I
Technique
didn't wa-
texted me when he saw the name or the description of our last episode, and he goes, "Dude, what happened?" Because I know he loves Quasi.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
Well,
"Oh
did
man,
he
I've got
tell
some
him,
bad news for
"Bro,
you."
Why didn't you just tell him, bro, watch the episode? Like,
He said he
Yeah,
wouldn't
why
watch it
didn't?
because I misspelled there. I put they are
You
instead
did?
of yeah.
Oh,
So I fixed
no.
it, but
holy shit.
Just
I'm
shows
surprised
that we're
we
not
didn't
using
comment that said
AI.
that.
Yeah, seriously.
But AI doesn't know how to spell things. Isn't that the meme that they can't spell words?
They can know when to choose.
Strawberry?
No, by the way, I spelt the word right. I just used the wrong there. That's what I did. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
there as in possession. All right,
Yep,
let's
the
get
human touch.
yeah. Did you say or
No, I was gonna say, if there's more sources people have, let me know.
Yes,
I'll add
please.
them.
Come to the Discord.
It's
Tell us
not
about
hard
it.
for me.
and
Yeah,
plug
if
the
you're a
website right
YouTuber and
now,
you have a tier list.
aroundthemagetable.com. Right?
Yeah.
You can find our Discord and everything. This is the Discord, right? Or was that
Yeah.
Apple? I don't know.
No, that's Apple. The
Okay.
Discord,
Somewhere in here.
it's there. It's there.
Great site design. Discord's somewhere in there.
Discord's somewhere here.
No, this is
Not
this
to
is
critique.
All right,
Anyway.
Lithian,
Just
put
click
in a Jira
randomly
ticket.
around
Put a
it.
Jira
Work in
ticket just to
progress.
put the Discord thing
Yeah.
right here. Okay. What is the main topic today? The State of Azeroth. We had a
Yeah.
30-minute video that came out on Thursday And Holly Longdale, your girl, started it off scrap.
My girl.
Yep. I don't know
What's her
whether you
job?
actually like
What's
her or
her
not.
job?
She's the PR lady, right?
Not PR.
She's
mean, the-
she's like the
lady?
president.
She's like the president. She's like the
Yeah.
president of WoW. Yeah.
She's the
She's
wait.
not-
I
she's
thought
not the
Hazy
president.
Kostas was the president of WoW.
She's executive
No,
producer of the
neither one of
game
them are the
and
president.
vice president of World
Neither-
of Warcraft. There you go.
what? Wait. Who's boss?
She's his boss.
Yeah.
She's his
Where's
boss.
the org
So
chart?
she's-
Where's the org chart?
She's the one that I want in the elevator because I gotta tell her what's
I don't.
wrong.
But she's not going to make the decisions. She's just like she's the money. She's the money flow.
She doesn't want to know from the people what the problems are.
No, she
get the
does,
money?
but she's going to say, "Go talk to Ian."
Okay, and then I'll say, what time is he using the elevator? Then I can get in
Is, that
there.
is she wearing a leather jacket?
Dude,
What
she
is
always
that?
has.
I
She
like
always
that.
has some sort of
I will
theme.
say
She's Slade for sure.
she always has the best outfits. Like that's something you can't come for her on. Her
No,
outfit. always
I
good.
like it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Well, she teased the hell out of the classic players, blue balling the hell out of them.
What did she say? She's like classic wink and then
No,
moved
she
on?
said, "I have a great announcement for classic." So here, and then someone off screen or goes, "No, don't say it yet." And she goes, "Oh, sorry, we'll talk about that later." And everyone
Wow, so
assumed,
cute.
that it was like, "Oh, they'll just announce it like 20 minutes from now." Nope, nothing. So classic
That's
has to wait a little bit
adorable.
longer.
Gotta wait till BlizzCon.
Dude,
Yep.
classic updates is so funny because what are they gonna say? They say we get for classic players, we got more classic for you. Like
That's pretty much what it was before that. They were just like, "Yo, yeah, guess what? The rest of this year we're doing the rest of the Burning Crusade," and was like, "Oh yeah, we knew that already."
It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I remember doing that. Thanks.
No. The
like-
rumor is there's going to be a huge Classic Plus like event, right? That there's
Right.
going to be a vanilla WoW, not like Seasons of Discovery, I don't believe, but more
Okay.
of like a true classic. But there will be new raids, new dungeons, new all that stuff. So
It's supposed to be
Mm.
like OSRS, where it's
Yeah.
it's like a continuation almost.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
But-
I'm always willing to take a dip into classic for like 20 levels or so until it gets hard. You know,
Not me.
like
well,
there's
we
a
had
point where it starts to get tedious. You
we had a
know,
lot of
I
news-
love classic.
a lot of news break that was not necessarily ground, earth shattering, but there was some cool things in there. We'll go through some of the little things first. If you haven't already known, if you log into the WoW between now and launch of midnight, you'll get a Dark Portal decor item. You can buy as
How do I
many as you
collect
want.
How do I collect that? Where do I get that?
Log in.
You
I
log
and
in.
then- Okay. Okay.
And you can buy
It
more
just
of them.
appears in my book.
Yep, there's
It's
a
so
vendor.
hard.
There's a vendor in each capital city of Stormwind and Orgrimmar that sells more of them if you want
Okay.
more of them. So just again,
I'm the
PSA.
Dark Portal vendor.
Yeah. Well, no, they named it. It was like the limited time vendor or something like that. And
Oh, I see.
so anytime they do
Neat.
something like this, if you got the achievement, you can buy more, which is nice.
Where'd the guy get that many dark portal? Is it functional or is it just like pretty?
No, it's just for show, but you can
What-
walk through it.
What do you mean
you can make it
functional?
like a
though?
door.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like if
say,
I click on it, am I in Outland?
no.
No.
Oh, okay. Was that a crazy question? Like,
Why
that's
would they
no,
put
I
an
asked the same
outland
thing.
portal in housing?
where does the dark portal go? It goes to fucking Outland.
Well,
I
it
don't
also
know.
goes to
Well,
Draenor.
that one goes nowhere. So
Okay, well, that one goes nowhere. Say
yeah,
okay. It's
it looks
very-
great though.
So,
Very
anyways,
cool.
pretty decoration.
Io already brought up so here's the Mist of Pandaria. So they're gonna go through Phase 5 Siege of Orgrimmar right
Garage?
before
'Cause
BlizzCon.
it's Pandora.
Yep. And then where was the Burning Crusade? Burning Crusade will not be done by BlizzCon, but goes through the year. What else? So there was a lot of housing talk on here. There was, for example, I'll get to that in a second. Actually, I think I have a whole page on that. Let's talk about the roadmap for WoW, though. Okay, so here is the
Yay.
WoW roadmap. I'm gonna see if I can.
Oh, it looks different from the roadmaps we normally look
Yeah,
at.
I know.
No
I'm not.
Plunderstorm. The fuck.
So hold on. Hold your horses. Don't worry. Hold your horses.
Hold your horses.
We've got things to talk about within it. Okay. We already know what's coming with
Okay.
launch, right? And they put this in winter. I think that's a little unfair because yes, it does
Dude,
technically
have
launch.
you looked the fuck outside, Frank? It's winter.
I know, but spring for them is March 1st, but they're launching on like February 28th or whatever. So yeah, okay, technically it's winter.
winter.
We'll have 12.05, in what they say is their 8-week cadence, so we can expect that, I guess, mid or early May. And then we'll have 12.07 in what, June or July. And then 12.1 right before BlizzCon, but not BlizzCon will be before 12.1.5, which says that we'll be less than 8 weeks into the patch when we go to BlizzCon. Very curious to hear what they talk about WoW at that point. I mean, do they release stuff on The Last Titan? I don't know. But 12.07, so okay, 12.05 will have Void Assaults, your typical, mid-patch, whatever nonsense. But it'll also have something called Prop Hunt, and which
Prop Hunt? Is it like Prop Hunt?
It's like
Gary's
Prop
mod?
Hunt.
Yeah.
It's like Prop
Shut
Hunt.
the fuck up. That's better than
So
Blunderstorm.
well,
I'm
so
gonna
hold
play
on.
the
We're not
shit
done.
out
We're
of
not done
this.
yet, Scrap. The 5v5,
Oh my God.
okay? And yeah, you'll just turn
Oh.
into props, and I think this will be hilarious, and we can make a really good MDL game out of it. So, we'll
Yes.
hopefully see some of that. But yeah, that's
I'm
coming in
gonna no-life Prop
12.0.5.
Hunt.
So by May, we should expect to see this. And I should call out
Shut up, my
that
birthday.
it's already being put onto the PTR. So we might even see it sooner than that.
Yep.
I
Oh
don't
my
think they'll
God.
launch this PTR until launch of midnight, but who knows? What else do we have? So we have, that's 12.0.5. 12.0.7 will have a new raid, a one boss raid, that, according to Ian, is not necessarily story driven. But there will be some more story
What is
quests.
it?
I think it'll
If
have
it's
its
not
like
connected to
own.
the story, what is it?
It's gonna be like its own standalone story, if that makes sense, right? Like
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's
you know how
good.
like Ulduar, or even like the Dragon Rest Temple stuff or whatever, Wormrest Temple.
Wormrest.
Yeah, Wormrest. They had those like dragon raids that didn't necessarily progress the Lich King story, stuff like that.
Gotcha. That's fine. I feel like that's cool.
Yeah. I know we don't usually care about it, but Race the World First will be kind of interesting to see how that kind of handles it. Because
Didn't they do one of these in like BFA where like
They did.
halfway through the season they added like a little raid boss?
they did. It was two raid boss, and it was arguably the hardest bosses ever put into WoW. I don't think, but like
Well, I mean, I don't think my guild cleared it, but I remember it being kind of hard.
yeah. I don't. Based on what I'm hearing from like Max and others, is that I don't believe this is going to be that hard. They're probably just doing it more for like content to bring people back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be
Maybe
interesting because it'll be a raid boss where everyone should be, for the most part, fully kitted. And so if there is any Race to World First type event, it'll be, hit the ground running. Although that does favor the North Americans over the EU. And then, of course, the, typical Turbulent Time Waves stuff. And again, we will have some pre-story stuff. No note of not Turbulent Time Waves. No note of, what's the Turbo Boost. So.
Good. Toss that. Honestly, I'm
Really?
over that. Yeah, I don't. It just feels like not very designed. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we gave you a bunch more item levels. Like, okay, well, I guess I'll sink in another 20 hours. Like, it's not more fun, if that makes sense.
It might not work either because the crest changes too.
I acknowledge how it works. Like, it's very smart for them, very, very easy for them to just say, hey, remember this game, play it more, you can get more powerful, right? But we've done it a couple seasons. The facade is gone. I recognize that it's just like a, hey, keep playing because you could get a little bit stronger now, and it's just,
Well, that's interesting because do you think Dinars need to go as well?
So the difference with Dinars is that's bad luck protection. It's not turbo boost, right? Like, we all agreed on it that it was bad luck protection. So I think that's fine.
Okay.
But the everybody gets 5 more levels of gear. I don't want to say it feels arbitrary because I understand why they're doing it. It's a very simple way to say, like, play the game again. But I was really unmotivated to do it this past season. Like, a lot of my characters still didn't finish their their gear tracks because I was just like, whatever.
I ask you, Lithin, do you guys feel the same way?
The actual turbo boost part of it probably doesn't make as much sense because they're doing the crest changes, so it's probably going to take you longer to get to that point anyways. I still would like to keep Dinars though, because especially, if you're in a more middle of the pack or lower end mythic guild, you might only get to kill some bosses one time, so it's nice to be able to get a specific item off them if there is one that you need. So I would like to see that stay. But
Oh, keep the dinars.
I could take it or leave it either way. It's fine. I don't. But if they took it away, I wouldn't miss it.
Okay.
I also hate when they add the bar
I
par in the
Oh,
turbo
hold on. We'll
boost.
get to
There's
that in a
like, you
second.
gotta,
Hold
it's
on.
another thing you gotta have. I
well,
you know how I feel about bar par.
yeah. Here's the thing. I think so. The majority of your player base is casual, right? And I think when Turbo Boost comes around, it gives them an opportunity to get a little bit more powerful, so they can do some additional content. Plus, the Dinars gives them access to some of the items they might be missing to close some of those gaps. Or it makes it easier if you can't farm Mythic Raid or even some of the dungeons. And I think it's positive for that, and it probably helps the majority of the player base. But I don't know, like for me personally, by that time, if I'm only playing one character, which I'm only playing Brewmaster, I'm probably gonna have everything I need, and I'll do the extra boost to jump my item level up to do harder keys. But I don't know. I see it's still a good thing for the majority of the player base, but if they're not doing it, they're not doing it for a reason. So
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is like I find it fun, only for the fact that it's a flag that usually brings a couple of y'all back to play a little more seriously again. And yeah, that's ultimately what they want out of it. And you could argue, why are they just waiting so long to implement it? But the truth is like, even if it's a very minor shot in the arm to get us like kind of buzzing, it still does for, like Ioska. I remember that the first time I think Turbo Boost happened, you came in and you're like, I got to do like 400 dungeons or something ridiculous. And, it just kind of
Well, he was
gave us a
progging
little bit
Mythic
of
Raid.
life. Huh?
He was progging Mythic Raid, so he literally had to. Like, it
Well,
was his
sure.
homework.
all the way to the end.
It just again, I mean, it like I don't see it the way that some people argue that it like causes this like, oh, I just won't play until Turbo Boost happens. Like that's not what I'm
I've
in
never
it
seen
for.
anybody do that, honestly.
Well, people
Like,
say it, but of
has
course I think
anybody ever done that?
the people who say it are probably the people who haven't played WoW in 10 years and are just like trying to shit on the
Yeah.
game still, But Scrap, the thing about this new raid, I feel like there's going to be a borrowed power asset to it, right?
Mhm.
Probably. I mean, I'm guessing there's gonna be like some bomb ass like weapons or trinkets or something that everybody wants all of a sudden. So maybe
Or
that's
Dinars.
taking the
Maybe they
place
put the
of Turbo
Dinars in
Boost.
there.
Oh yeah, the Dinars in
That'd be
there. I would
interesting.
take the Dinars in there. I mean, so look, I like Dinars. I'm not gonna hate on that. So, yeah, that'd be cool. I think a new raid is a lot cooler way to bring people back into a mid-season lull than giving us 5 more levels of things. Obviously, it takes more dev time and more designing, but I prefer to get more for my dollar if I can.
So we did get the
What's
name of
Spore?
this raid. It's called Sporefall.
Zanger Marsh.
Well, in
Oh my
Heronor.
god, I love the Marshwalkers. They got a new
Oh my gosh,
model. Dude, I love Zanger Marsh. You hate those things. They're so
This is
cool.
not Zangermarsh, by the way.
Fenstalkers. No, but it's a Fenstalker from
No.
Zanger Marsh.
Sure.
It is. It is. Look at it. I love those guys. They're so
Okay.
cool.
So that's not the only new raid that'll come outside of a 12.1 patch, but we do have the 12.1 patch. Again, spoilers for the I'm not even gonna say it, but there's pretty much a clear indication of what's gonna happen in that patch. We will get a new dungeon, most likely troll themed.
Yes.
And of course, new delves. Now they notate here that the UI updates won't be coming until this patch, but do you guys think we'll get something in 12.05 and 12.07?
I'm sure we're gonna get quality of life updates, like small things. If they're willing to turn around the entire car on like a paladin change in one day, I'm sure if there's something that's big and comes up, they'll tweak it.
I
Right?
I don't disagree. I think they'll do small bug fixes and little things, but I think they're probably, I'm trying to figure out as they lead into BlizzCon, what are they saving for the con to announce? Because they
Yeah.
always have to they have to have something
Yeah,
big
something
to
big.
announce
Yeah.
at the con, right? But the UI updates, I think they're gonna do some minor releases, but the major release has to be like, what are they gonna put there, right? How are they going to address some of the player challenges? And what is it? I mean, what does it entail?
Maybe
I don't
something
know.
we can do for next week is I would love to, if people in the comments, or maybe we can look into it a little bit, and by people I mean you guys, not me. Like, what are the
Wow.
big complaints about the state of the UI right now? Because I know that a
Oh, I
lot of
can
people
tell
we've
you.
been talking to. Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are people upset about? What are people saying this is
Number one thing they're
unplayable?
upset about is that outside of course like Blizzard making promises that they don't feel like they kept, is that they
Of
are
course, yeah.
arguing that, and okay, I'm gonna get on my soapbox here and have a hot take. They're arguing that they have to have more add-ons that take more time to set up as a result of these changes, which is a bad thing. Most of them are getting back all the functionality that they wanted in the first place, one way or another, right?
Mhm.
But you know, I'll use Dorky as an example. Dorky said it took him multiple hours or days even to get his UI set up the way he wants, but he is almost there. But he also has double the add-ons as a result. And my
Mm.
initial thought, and again, don't come after me about it, but is I don't think that's Blizzard's fault. I think that's WeakAura's fault.
Well, I was gonna say, well, I can't blame WeakAuras, but it's
I
like
can't.
it's
I
effectively the same
can't.
thing. If you numerically have more add-ons, because in WeakAura you had like 20 WeakAuras, but
Mhm.
now you have 20 add-ons. I mean, what's the difference? You still go to a website, download the add-on, right? Like,
Did you see
Well,
the Dratnos tweet where somebody posted a thing where they were saying like, oh, if you're a priest, you can get this icon whenever you have this buff, and he's like, imagine if there was one add-on that you could keep a bunch of these smaller add-ons like
Part of me though,
managed with or something like that.
yeah.
likes the idea that they're not in WeakAura anymore because I once downloaded, I don't know if it was an add-on itself or something, but like there was like this WeakAura update or add-on, right? It would tell you if your WeakAuras were kind of like not up to date with the import string that is currently on Wago. And I felt like I tried to update all my WeakAuras and it was like a huge disaster and I broke a whole bunch of things and
Well, I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that.
and
Yeah,
like if it's
I-
its own standalone add-on, yes, you have to have like 60 more add-ons, but just still use CurseForge, hit the update button,
Well,
it's all done.
well,
what
so
was so oh, go on.
what add-on provider what some of these folks are doing right now is they're releasing these QOL add-ons, which is just a bundle of quality of life changes, and they're putting them into a single add-on and allowing you to create profile strings for each one of them, right? So it's very similar to WeakAura. But the biggest challenge between WeakAura versus what we have now is the amount of time and complexity it takes to create an add-on versus a WeakAura, right? And I think that's the biggest issue, and that's why people are out here creating these quality of life add-ons that are just a bundle of a bunch of stuff that'll help you.
Well, and even
Do you
then they're
think
like
that
band-aids, they're not fixing the overarching,
Yeah. Do
goal.
you think within the next year we're gonna see like another WeakAuras, like effectively what WeakAuras
They're
is?
trying.
Well, I
And
think
Zorthus
I think that's what they're trying to do with
Zorthus
these
had a really
quality
good
of life
the
video
changes.
calling
bundles,
out
yeah.
someone that was trying to make a WeakAura like 2, and it wasn't the real thing,
Mhm.
and it's also like apparently very broken. But like people
Yeah.
are going to, I mean, Quasi was effectively trying to do that with his
I would say
his.
put Quasi on it. He can just steal the WeakAura code and just put
Oh
his
my
name
God,
on it,
it
and then
doesn't
we
work
have
that
it
way.
back. I don't know. Then why is everybody so upset about it? I'm lost.
The majority of the WeakAuras that I would have in this particular time would mostly be very small things that
Yeah.
would just
Yeah.
kind of give me a buff in a certain spot, or so it does suck not have that WeakAuras didn't at least give us the option to use some of it, because right now would be a really good time to be able to use that functionality for some of those smaller things. And it does suck that someone else basically has to code an entire add-on for it, and then you have to download like if depending on how many of these things you want, you have to download a bunch of different add-ons when you could just have it, not only just have it, but also be able to tweak it further and not have to wait for them to update it, which
Yeah.
in some with some of these things kind of sucks. But yeah, until they give us something else like that, I think we'll just have to deal with the add-ons.
I mean, the
That
thing.
is what I miss about WeakAuras is like as somebody who doesn't know how to do any code or computer things, like that I was able to tweak things to my very specific parameters that nobody else has. And Lithian can tell
Yeah.
you that. I have extremely specific things that I want to be able to do that literally nobody on the planet would want
Well, no, but like,
except
so
me.
here's the thing, right? Like the Pedro Lust thing is back, right? Like you can do that
It's
again.
back?
Yeah. Um,
Oh.
But it's not as easy as, just importing a weak aura. But at the same time, if Blizzard broke it, getting that updated would have been a nightmare. Whereas if they build a proper add-on for it, it'll be always updated as long as the author is still working on it. But I think like Dorky used an example in the Podyssey this week of like he needed to have an add-on to remind him to cast Mark of the Wild if someone died and was battle rezzed in the middle of a fight. But
Well,
Blizzard
that's just a
added
skill issue.
well, Blizzard added the thing where your icon will light up if someone in the raid doesn't have your buff, right? Now, granted, yeah, you have to put it on a
Oh.
cast bar or an action bar, and that's like not necessarily intuitive enough, blah, blah. But like that was his go-to to say, like, yeah, I need to have an add-on for this. This is like so annoying. Weak auras would have done it. And like or people are saying like I need to have an add-on that says don't release when you die in the middle of I guess
That's
a
the
dungeon.
kind of stuff where people are saying like, "Oh, why do you want so many add-ons to play the game for you?" That's the kind of stuff I feel like they're talking about. Like,
Well,
why do you need to know not to release? Like, I've seen the hunter ones that like, why do you need to know you don't have a pet? Why don't you just look and see you have a pet? Like,
I
it's
get
like,
it.
bro,
I
do you
get
want
like the idea of
nothing
like
in the game?
well, because pets like disappear randomly and all that stuff.
It happens to me all the time, but it's part of the fun of being a pet owner is that
Yeah,
sometimes they
but they're
suck and
they're
don't work.
yeah, but they're sweaties. They don't want to afford that loss, or that RP.
Yeah, they don't want the immersion of actually owning a dog. I
I
get it.
I
Like,
again, I don't want to blame weak auras for the decision they made, but I do believe that them reveling in this is kind of the bit of the problem of where like they just decided, well, screw this. We keep talking about Quasi saying, I'm taking my ball and going home. Weak auras kind of did the same
Yeah.
thing in a different way. And it's like, it's fine. Like, you have every right to do that, and we should honestly still respect you no matter what, because you guys did tons for the game for a long time. But
but to be
all these
fair,
problems people are facing
there's-
right now is because of that decision, not because of Blizzard's decision. Everyone
Well, I mean,
agrees
people
the
have-
computational should have gone away.
people have gotten to the point where they feel like they need a thing that flashes on their screen that says no pet to play the game because we've gotten so lazy and reliant on like weak auras was too powerful. It could do too much. I think that's an indicator of that like you literally could have some text flash on your screen to tell you to do a really basic task of your spec.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's good that it's gone, honestly. Like it's not good in the long run, but it's like it was too
It'll come
powerful.
back
It
one way or
was
another.
doing too much. Yeah, it'll come back. Who was complaining about the Dorky? Dorky, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna remember to put Mark of the Wild. And you know what? If they died, they don't deserve it anyway. So
Oh,
help 'em.
somebody put a quality of life
Didn't
add-on
help
out
'em.
there for it anyway.
That one already exists. Yeah.
it didn't help them. It wasn't enough to save their life. That's why they
No,
died.
but
So
like,
they don't
okay,
need it.
like,
Well,
this is the
no,
way I'm
that's-
framing it. What's the problem with having
point.
60 weak auras that, again, don't update themselves versus having 60 add-ons in a Curse Forge? Like, why is that a problem?
That's why I said I don't see the difference. The difference I see is that you
It's-
could make your own weak auras pretty easily if
Yes.
you don't know anything about
Right.
computers.
It's enabling people like Scrap with weak
Yeah.
auras where she could just go create what she wants, right?
Yeah.
But she
She can't create an
she-
add-on.
couldn't
No, fuck
really...
no.
She can make a weak aura that would say, like, here, this spell's on cooldown because she knows that stuff. But one, it wasn't intuitive, right? Even
No,
at,
but
even,
you could
It was
figure
intuitive
out
to
how to
her.
do things. Yeah, it was intuitive enough that a lot of times
Scrap.
I would download a weak aura and I would fix it like the way I wanted it.
Sure, you could edit it, right? But what
Yeah,
if a good add-on comes out, they would give you that capability too. But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
like, imagine the first time you used a weak aura versus the time you were able to actually write your own weak aura. How long of a gap was that?
I'm not going to learn how to make my own add-on, Frank. I don't think there's enough.
I'm not suggesting you do. I'm not suggesting you do, right? But the game has tools now for that example of you making a weak aura track. Let's say, like, do you know how to make a weak aura track that you have no pet?
Yeah, but I would never because I like to play the game.
Oh.
I'd
Wow.
argue
I've never-
I don't think you would know how to make that weak aura.
No, I know how to make that weak
Oh.
aura. There's like you do conditions.
I don't know how to
and
make
stuff.
it.
There's condition of like.
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
have
know how
no
to make
pet.
it.
No,
right?
I've gotten a little deep into it.
Well, anyways,
I could figure it out. The point is, I could figure it out. And what's great about weak auras also is that it's like, oh, I have a weak aura that puts a sound, if this thing's off cooldown, but it makes a sound that goes like bonk, and I'm like, I hate that sound. It pisses me off. I could just go in and change the sound. If I get an add-on, I don't know how to change the sound file out on it.
well,
Like, I
did
just
you
have
see
to- I
that
have
weak
to have
auras?
that.
Weak auras actually released all their sounds for other add-ons
But
to use.
the point is that if I download an add-on and it makes a meow sound, I don't know how to go into the add-on file and change it to something that isn't a meow. So
No, but that again, that
Um,
would be on the add-on developer as making a bad add-on, right? Like,
Was it bad if they picked the sound for their own add-on? They put the work in.
No,
on it?
that they
Like,
should have like if you're building an add-on, in my opinion, you should have options to that add-on, right?
I
Like you
don't know.
should.
I don't do sound cues anyway, so I'm just complaining in
Irrelevant.
general. But
All right,
it's
well,
irrelevant. But
let's
I'm
keep
just saying.
moving. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's what is this, a roadmap? Let's take a look.
Okay, so again, big UI changes hopefully coming in 12.1, and hopefully blacklist, whitelist would
Yep.
be the feature of that. Then
Yeah.
BlizzCon. Again, we talked about we don't know what exactly Blizz will announce for WoW at this point, but I do believe like maybe not spoilers, but they'll talk a little bit about Last Titan. Actually, you know what? I'm willing to bet they'll probably show the new Northrend in it because that won't necessarily be a spoiler. And
Yeah, I
maybe
think
they'll show a lot of the. Go on.
No, I was gonna say I think they'll do like a teaser, but I think they're gonna probably set up the story for the 12.1.5 raid because I think that's got some pretty big implications.
Yeah, this is supposed to be
So they
heavy
say.
on the lore.
Yep.
Good.
We'll hear about
Um,
it at BlizzCon.
But we also have some other things coming after BlizzCon. Big event, big features like Labyrinth. So this is supposed to be Delve plus. Like the idea is that you're gonna have a mega Delve format where you'll have wings that you can achieve that are, Delve like in their own sense.
Okay.
Sorry, scrap.
Can you pick it up and put it down?
We
Like,
don't
I'm
know.
gonna do the swing today. Oh,
We don't know.
IO says yes, so
Okay.
So I don't think anybody knows how
It
it's
does say
gonna-
that they give
how
the
it's gonna
players to
work.
progress at their own pace, so I'd assume so, but we
Yeah.
don't know.
oh, so
Um,
like this week I can do A, and then next week I can do B.
Well, so
we can theorize.
yeah,
what
the way
that means.
I read this was like this is Delves raid Delves, right? Like you can go do one boss and then like come back on Thursday night and do another. I
I
don't
would
know.
love if. Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, I don't know if there's gonna be like lockouts associated with it or anything like that. I don't know how that would
Right.
work, of course, but
It would be so cool if they had something like this at like question mark difficulty where it's like I can just pick out like a pick at a boss that's like really hard. And I'd be like, Frank, which boss are you on the raid? Oh, you're on the third one. Oh yeah, that one's really hard. Like it would be cool if there was like if there was actual like to the difficulty of like a heroic raid that I was just doing by myself.
well, my
Like
question
I
was
love that idea.
going to be, do you think this is them trying to give us what we talked about with like the horrific visions as an example of like this thing
I love
that
horrific
is a compounding, like, you can't really get it done right away, but there's clever puzzles and, again, each area feels like its own unique little problem to solve. And it all comes together to a big boss that would be a question mark kind of level of boss at the end.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know about you
Yeah,
guys. Like
could
Lithia and I
be.
ask, do you guys probably do more delves than I do? Or is this something you got excited about?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't think it's going to be something that is tailored towards being incredibly difficult. I think it's just the next step in evolution of delves. They probably got to the point where they think, okay, we have this system kind of refined. Now let's add to that even more. And they already know the delves are popular with the casual fan base. This is just a way to kind of keep them engaged. Because you're only going to get how many delves per season, and you're going to have probably in the second season you're only going to get probably like a couple more plus
Yeah.
all the original ones. So this is just something for them to kind of chip away at and work on, and I think it's cool. It's always fun to have more solo stuff to do, and if they do end up making it challenging, then that's fun too. If there's puzzles and stuff, that'll be fun. So it'll be interesting to
guess
see how it works for like your vault and stuff. If it gives you like a higher vault slot if you finish it or something, I don't know, but
I guess for me, it's like if this is being pitched as like a thing you get in the season that you complete at your own pace and you get something out of it, a transbog or something, and it has a reasonable level of difficulty that you actually have to work at it, I would enjoy it. If it becomes something like an expected chore, like what I kind of view delves as now, it's like, oh, here's a way to get gear, you do it every week or whatever. Like if this is kind of something that's designed to be done every week, I'm kind of out on it. Like I don't want to do I don't like doing raid finder, like even if I might need a tier piece or something, I will like never do it. Like if it's a very brain dead easy chore to get something, I'm kind of out. But if it can do it like something that's all season you work on this, it's very difficult. Like the more gear you have, the easier it is. You just need to do it once to get the mount or the achievement or the title or whatever the fuck. Then I'm back in because it's cool. It's a cool idea to have a raid. Like I love the idea of a raid solo content, like pure solo content. That's as difficult as like I have to be as good as I would be when we get like AOTC and I'm playing really well theoretically. Like that I would need that level of skill to get through it. Then I'm in.
I mean, I'm assuming you can duo it or whatever,
Yeah, you
but
still can.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's a good progression for Delves. And I'll be interested to see how they go through the implementation of it. I am kind of hoping that, as a casual player, you can get through most of it, but if you want to if you want to 100% it, you have to actually be pretty good at the game. Or you have to prog really hard like Scrap does,
Well, maybe they could just
until you win.
the easiest way would be to do it like either Horrific Visions, where there's buffs along the way that help you complete it to make it easier.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you
Well,
do
going
get
back to the
something
Torghast thing.
special. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
do get something special if you do it on the hardest difficulty. Or it could be as simple
Right.
as a question mark difficulty and a question mark difficulty. Like either way, I really hope that they give something that is challenging enough to be engaging for people like playing at our level or even like lower than our level too. Like it can be engaging. You know, something that's not just, I don't know, for the Delver guys.
What I don't want is just 5 delves glued together, which it doesn't seem
Definitely
like it,
not.
but, yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it from the picture. Like that map looks like it's got something going on.
My other question around this, because this will come out in 12.1.5, so it's not even a major patch feature. And there's been a lot of discussion, and we saw this really prevalent in the State of Azeroth. We haven't talked about housing yet, but we will in a minute. That there seemed to be like 50% content of the State of Azeroth was around player housing. Now, I think the obvious answer is that it is driving the marketing and it is driving the subscriptions right now, so they're going to lean into what gets the customers. But there are people out there who are complaining that this expansion launch is very lackluster in features for the, I'm not even gonna say pro gamer, but like for the more like, play
Well,
30 hours a week kind of
so
thing.
I do see that a little bit because we normally expect some sort of gimmick, right? Like, like the hero talents, or I can't think of anything else, or like the talent trees in Dragonflight. Like there's something that's like, I'm excited to see how my character plays in a new way, right? And I feel like they revamped the characters. They took a lot away instead of it feels like they took stuff away instead of giving it to us, and they're like, but there's houses and like new raids and stuff. That it doesn't feel like nothing big is changing for like how I play the game, if that
Well,
makes sense.
My thing is like, do you think Blizzard is kind of spreading it out across all the patches now? Like Labyrinth sounds like a expansion launch kind of feature.
Yeah, like a
right?
Torghast or a Delve or something.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. But they're leading on the housing. The weird thing about housing is it's kind of like the dragon flying tier. I understand it's like way more complex and interesting, but it's something that's just like, here's this cool thing that isn't really gonna change how you do dungeons and raids and shit. You know what I mean? But in Dragonflight there was like a big thing that changed how you did dungeon and raids, stuff that throwing all the fucking talents in your face,
but
right?
the War Within was like, I mean, yes, hero talents were obviously thematically awesome, but they were just more talents.
They
right?
were pitching they were trying. I mean, I was a big like critic of this before, where I was like, hero talents are bullshit. They always give us new talents. Why are they pushing this as like this is the thing? But at least there was a thing, and it feels like now we're not getting a thing. So it just feels that way. I know the class changes have been huge and probably took a lot of dev work, but I kind of understand that sentiment, that this feels kind of like War Within 2.
But again, going back to the point, do you think that they're purposely doing this kind of like, instead of putting Labyrinths as something they built ready to go for midnight launch, they go, oh, you know what? Let's actually make this a middle of the expansion thing to keep players from dropping their subs.
I jump in on this real quick.
Yeah.
Jump in.
So looking at the little screenshot they have of the inside, this feels almost like no, sorry, up more the actual picture. This almost looks like Trolley. Maybe they just didn't feel like Danas was the place to introduce this feature. Maybe they thought this was the best place to do it. So I'm thinking maybe you're right. Maybe they are spreading it out throughout more, but maybe they just thematically couldn't find a reason to put a Labyrinth into season 1.
Also, it might just not be a mechanic or a game feature they're confident enough that they want to take to later expansions. I mean, kind of like let's think back on
Okay,
season
so
2
you
of
don't
War
think it'll be
Within.
evergreen?
Maybe they're not sure if it will be, if it's
Yeah.
going to be popular. But like, think of season 2 of War Within. We're never going to see Drive again, never. Like, and they put a lot of work into that. This might
And
be this
This is a different.
expansion's
No, I
Drive.
don't think Drive was the same
Wow.
amount
It
of work
might
that
be.
this would take.
It might be this expansion's Drive.
I do think Scrap makes a good point, though. If they had put one of these, let's say in season 1, would people have then expected there to always be one? And then if they are just like, I don't, because they don't always have like mega dungeons and stuff.
Sure,
So maybe
sure.
they were just like, maybe this just fits thematically in what they were doing for the story. And but maybe they just thought, well, we don't want people to always expect this, so maybe that's why they didn't put one in season 1.
It's
I
a
guess.
compelling argument. Like, I think the Mega Dungeon one's a good one because it's like we get one of those expansion, but it's not at launch, and so maybe this is like, hey, Delvers, midway through the expansion, you can expect one of these, and it'll be a really cool big deal. So I think that's fair.
We didn't get a mega dungeon in War Within.
I
Well, it's because
mean,
they changed their dungeon model.
Yeah.
We didn't do it. Didn't get
I
it.
still think that they're spreading content out on purpose because
Oh, look
it
him
helps
taking
them
the
smoothen out.
opposite. Okay.
Well, it helps them smoothen out the dev cycle, but
Mhm.
it also gives them an opportunity to kind of continually add things over time and give player because if you release everything day one, I feel like players like your biggest player base gets overwhelmed with all the stuff, right? And they don't know where to go, they don't know what to do, they don't know what to focus on. Whereas if you take this big player base and you say, okay, we're gonna release, this content and we're gonna the part I hate is kind of time gating, but whatever. We'll
That's
skip by
different.
that for
Yeah, that's a
now.
different story.
Yeah, it's a different story, but they want to release this content, get people going into the expansion, and then add things to the story. And maybe there's going to be a story behind why this exists and why they're releasing it in the way they are. And if they can make all that stuff kind of come together as they release more content, it gives people engagement throughout the expansion and throughout
Mhm.
the season. And I think at the end of the day, that's the goal.
I want to
Yeah.
put a theory forward also is that we've seen some kind of like really fun and unique like mid-patch
Yeah.
things. Like
Horrific Visions.
Horrific Visions is such a banger, and I'm surprised they haven't brought that back. But it felt a little experimental, right? Like it's like this is something kind of
Yep.
new. We're just trying it out. And you know what the other one is that I'm thinking of is the tower in Dragonflight season 1,
Yeah.
the key tower.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
was
so we had
so
fun.
fun. Yeah, I know, and it also felt a little experimental. There's nothing quite like it. I mean, Mage Tower too, was that a mid-patch thing? I don't know. I didn't
But
play Legion. But
but
like kind of these
you
experimental things. So I think this might
do
be
you
that.
remember that island that gave you that dumb ring that people used for a while? Like
Yeah, they didn't try on that one.
Yeah,
And like
they didn't
Dastard
try.
Duos or whatever, like that one's not going to be evergreen.
You
But I
know,
hope
okay.
they
So it's hit
bust
and
out
miss.
the tower was hype, and they could eat. I feel like it wasn't that complex that they should easily bust that shit out again. It was
Do you
so
think
fun.
that Scrap might be right though about the experimentation when
Yeah.
they have their core gameplay loops of like Mythic Plus Raid, and they pretty much got that to the point now where they're really good at it and people love it. But at some point, that is gonna just get stale no matter how strong the loop is. So this kind of let's spice it up a bit. Let's put a raid later on in the season and put another boss in. Let's do something in the middle of the season that is more solo oriented that can kind of spice up the gameplay for the people that aren't always, that have got their 12s and they're not going to push any higher. I think it's just more experimentation of stuff with storytelling and features and just kind of seeing what they can kind of add to the game over
And
the
circling
course of time.
back, I far prefer them to give us some experimental little thing, even if it ends up being a shitty island that sucks and I'm never gonna go to ever again, like than giving us turbo boost. Can go up 10 more item levels. You know what I mean? I'd rather have something that might be a miss, but that they swing at least for.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing with that island as an example, right, is
The island sucks so bad.
I wanted to point out the Void Assaults and then Void Assault escalations in 12.0.7. This is like a literal copy and paste of all, like, the Farak assaults and the you name it. Any patch had some sort of
I
assault.
have never engaged with an assault in my life.
But my
Like,
question is they keep doing it. So is it the casuals that are really feeding this
Yeah,
Well,
data
let
that
us
says
know
that
in
this
yeah.
is fun?
let us know in the comments if you enjoy assaults. I don't even know what an assault is. Like, what is it? Like, it's
Well,
just like a world quest, right?
if you ever, yeah, if you ever go out to Hallowfall and when they released that, I forgot what it was called, the assault out there.
Nightfall.
Nightfall, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't do that at all.
But like you didn't do it at all, but during the times where those things were happening, there was a large group of people out there doing that stuff.
Yeah,
Like there's
it gave
people engaging in that content.
Okay,
it gave you a new rep, which some people just like
Yep.
filling the bars. It had appearances, which even if you didn't need the gear, you get the appearances. It also had,
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
champion gear. So if you had an ult you didn't want to run through raid or anything, you can use that. And yeah, it also had like little cosmetic stuff. So
I
usually that
remember the
kind
appearance. The
I
appearance
think
is badass.
collectors and all that, especially if they add decor and stuff. Like I think
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
get some people
There's
going in.
achievements.
will.
I mean, sometimes there's a mount. It's like people collect things in this game, and that's like their whole goal. It's just the collection of a thing.
Of
So,
things.
Well,
yeah,
Oh, look
Keep
at that
things moving.
like this.
dog.
Nice segue to
So
this guy.
they're doing a
Oh
Habitat
my
for Humanity thing. If you buy it, you get this dog who will randomly build things around you.
Oh,
And
I
then
always
also,
do that. I got the sloth, I got the hippogriff. I'll be
well,
buying this.
this will lead us also into scrap. Like they talked about the housing thing, so I'll go and jump into that. Let me find the. Okay, so they didn't give us a roadmap like they said they were going to, but they did give us the bullet lists of what they want to bring in. Okay, so pet and mount integration seems to be the thing that I think
Yay.
that they're going to do first.
I'm just so happy for that.
So they said that they're going to have like a stable with mounts hitched up outside, and then you'll have your companion pets to wander around. So going back to where's the little guy? They gave us the bowl and bed and doghouse. I feel like this is their, these assets are probably prepped to allow for that kind of thing to happen as soon as they're ready to, release the code for it. But yeah, so that's like a big, of course everyone's gonna love that. They're gonna go to the mass select decor. So you build, and the example they gave was this little piano that they built. Being able to select the whole thing together. So
that's great. I was saying that is something like in Planet Coaster that like you can, make a thing and then you can like you would move it around the whole thing. Because dude, making my deck is such a pain in the ass. I want to move it like if I want to move my house, it's like I gotta rebuild the whole thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if they adopt a blueprint system. So for example, Satisfactory. If you build a big factory, you can blueprint it so that you can copy and paste it to like accommodate a different factory that you want to build.
It's same Planet Coaster, and then also you can send your blueprints to other people and get them
I
online.
believe that they did say that was something you would be able to do with this.
Yes,
Fuck yeah. Love it. And then I see the duplicate. Ooh,
copy
that
and
makes
paste.
my life, dude, so much easier. Like, especially, so the way they do it in like Planet Coaster is that like you can duplicate and it's in the same position, and then you can just use the what's it called? The little widget thing? The dongle, to move it to the side. So I can easily like just bust out columns, like column, duplicate, column, duplicate, column, without having to like fiddle with it again. So I'm hoping they take inspiration, because that's like one of the best modular design like game engines out there. So yes, this is so good. When is this coming? Now?
We don't know.
Soon?
No,
Launch?
we don't know.
Please?
Tomorrow.
I would
released tomorrow,
suspect.
Scrap,
I
just
would
for you.
suspect that maybe this stuff will be 12.1. I would think, because this is not going to be easy for them to build. The mounts,
Dude,
the mount and pen integration
it.
may be sooner, because maybe that's easier. As they'll have like the pets just kind of like, like a lot of pets have an idle animation anyways. So they really just have to figure out maybe how to make it wander, and then that's, good enough.
I would love that.
We're also going to expect exporting design sharing. Now, we have someone in our community who is a huge housing buff, who actually is advocating against this. The Scarewin says that.
Is?
Yeah.
She doesn't want that?
She says her logic is that, and sorry if you're watching this and you feel like I'm not representing your opinion correctly, but
tell us in the comments if we're not representing your opinion correctly.
the long and short of it, she feels like it should be a reflection of who you are, and if you're able to copy and paste someone else's work, or even
accessibility feature.
Well, or even have this like idea that you can pay someone to build your house for you. that like
here's the
it's going to
yeah.
take away the uniqueness and the you know, the shimmer of everyone doing their own amazing thing.
But people are already looking at what people have online and
Yeah.
copying it. So
Yeah.
like that this isn't going to like not allowing import exporting is not gonna change that. Like people need inspiration. They're like, I see a cool idea. And also I'm guessing this is gonna be consensual. Like somebody can't just go into your house, select your piano and be like, okay, I'll put that in my house. Like I'm guessing you have to upload it. If it's like not consensual, that would be crazy. Like I just walk in your house and copy like just
take
select
a picture, boom.
yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna select your piano and I'm gonna copy it and it's gonna be my piano now. Like that's fucked. But if it's consensual, like where it's like I am uploading this cool piano design, I would love for people to use it. I think it'll be great in people's builds. I mean, that's what I see in like in the Sims and shit. Like, and if people want to charge for it, who gives a fuck? I feel the same way about the add-on or the whatever the quasi thing was that he was charging with it. Like, if people want to pay for it, you know, it's cool. Like, cool, make some money. I
mean,
care.
like, yeah, well, that's like if it's a service that you want to pay for, and
Yeah.
some, you know, that's just how the economy of it works.
And I'm sick of seeing Lithian's house completely empty. I need him to just download someone else's house.
Well, they said they did say it's
Oh.
not listed in here, but at some point they did say that they're thinking about having like co-ownership as well.
Yeah, Scrap.
Yeah,
You go put whatever you want in there.
you could just give me your password and I'll do it in like one day and I'll give it back.
I will not.
And they did
do.
They did note that they are expecting the the limits of decor numbers to increase. They just wanted to make sure they took it slow, so they're just calling that out to everyone.
It's good.
There were
for the
there were some
performance.
other things too, but first I want to talk about something that wasn't talked about, but there are some game files that suggesting that maybe
Oh, I'm so happy.
maybe
I'm
there'll
so
be some
happy.
dragon racing in
And
the
drive. How about some drive in the neighborhood? That would be so fun if I could just drive to your house. There's already roads. Come on.
Hey, put it on the you need to go on the forums and tell them about it.
I'll have my guy on it.
So yeah, dragon
that
riding
Frank?
coming to neighborhoods, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. You know, it'd be fun to watch people race, like, you know, especially if like 4 or 5 people are trying to do the same race at the same time.
Oh my god, dude! If there's like a leaderboard for the neighborhood to
Oh,
see
yeah.
like who's
Yeah.
got the highest
Oh my
time
god.
or
Fastest
the
time,
the
yeah.
lowest time. Oh my god, dude! They should do that with all the mini games. They should do that for like the fucking jump puzzle. It's like who's
Yep.
got the fastest time on
Yep.
it, leaderboard in the
Yep.
neighborhood. Yep.
So
And then
again,
whoever has the fastest time for the month, you get like a little trophy in your house or something.
ooh, yeah, and it actually transfers,
Yeah.
so like you take it from the person who had it before.
Yeah, you the next person will get it. Yeah, I love it.
I don't know. I think they
Well,
should do
I love
it.
it if they do it. If they do it, I would love it.
All right, so
I
Scrap,
could see
you
this
didn't
being an endeavor or something.
yeah.
I
yeah.
love it as an endeavor.
Yeah.
So yes, please. I'll put dragon flying in and give me nothing. I will still do it. Like,
Give me
fuck.
nothing.
Don't do that,
Give me
please.
nothing.
Devs, don't do that.
I'll do it for free. Yeah.
So that said, though, there was you didn't watch the Scrap. I asked you watched it live or
No.
no?
You didn't let me watch it.
The State of Azeroth.
Yeah, State of Azeroth.
Yeah, I watched it live.
Just
Yeah.
watch it.
Lithian
You
didn't
don't need
either.
permission to watch it.
So it ended on a cinematic, right? It was a good cinematic, I think. It's effectively an ad for housing. I'm gonna play it here without any audio if I can. Oop, there we go.
Are you allowed to play it, or are they gonna flag you on YouTube?
Again, who did I go after last week? And I told him to come after me. And
The NFL.
yeah, the NFL. The NFL didn't get me. So Blizzard,
Where-
you ain't
where
getting
is
me.
this in housing? I
I
never
heard
knew
they
this
were
in
playing
housing.
some Ozzy Osbourne song, and
Yes.
YouTube was
Yeah.
demonetizing for it.
So, if people forgot, Ozzy Osbourne was in a WoW commercial a lot of years ago.
yeah.
So-
He had
Oh, I
the-
like
It's-
the.
It
Yeah,
was kind of a
and,
cool. It's kind of a cool tribute callback.
Yep, 100%.
So Scrap.
The style, I like the style of the character animation. It reminds me of Overwatch. And it's very distinct
yeah,
from WoW. It's cool.
When I saw this, I thought, is this like how they're announcing like an animated series? Like what the hell? Like
No,
it's
I
great.
like it. I feel like the super hyper realistic thing, like that was so cool and iconic when that like the first WoW cinematic. I mean, there was no 3D animation that looked anything fucking like that. But now we have
Yeah.
such realistic stuff.
Can we talk about the
that, like-
Worgen who has
That's
Is that
me.
Morgan? No, it's
It's
Torrance,
me.
sorry. with all
my
the
God,
flamingos in their house?
I'm literally in the trailer, guys. That's literally the working with the flamingos. Or is it
So-
Torin? Even
That's Torin,
me
yeah.
too.
I think their cinematics have fallen off recently, and I think this is their comeback.
No, I
They're
like-
they
I-
got to do something.
In an age where we can have hyper realistic animation and like anybody can do it now. This has so much more character. Like the stylization is part of what makes WoW visuals look so good, and I love that. I would love to see them go forward with cinematics, like in-game cinematics like this. You know,
So
it's cool.
one, this cinematic kind of reignited the idea of WoW needs a like animated show, akin to like
Eh.
Arcane or whatever it was called.
Yeah, if
Um,
their story would be good, but I don't
Oh no, they
trust.
have to have writers that
They have to
that
have
develop good
different
stories.
writers. Although I have lots of opinions about how Arcane fell off hard in the
yeah,
writing department.
put that away
Don't
for a
start
second.
me.
You
Okay,
put
we'll
it
put it
out
away.
there, Frank.
So
Well, you said Arcane. I'm
one
gonna
thing I want
complain
to
about
call
other
out from
things.
this is they specifically made a point to like, and granted, I think they said they're calling back their old guild from way back when, but we've talked a lot about the idea that photos in your house would make a lot of sense. You could put
Dude,
like
if I
your
could put
kills
our
up.
AOTC photo up, oh my
Well,
god.
this calls back to an article I saw a little while ago that I was
Oh, we
going to
talked
talk
about this
about.
last week.
Oh.
Did we talk about it on the actual episode though, or did we just talk about
We
it after the
did.
fact?
We talked
Okay.
about it in the episode, but I don't remember, so we could talk about it again.
So the long and short of it is, I asked, like we already had the selfie camera. Why is this coming? And it now makes sense to me that these things are kind of being talked about again, because maybe it's that they're actually going to build this stuff so that you can put photos in your house.
Well,
That'd
I
be
love
cool.
that because like from an RP standpoint, like I have a character, she's from the Thousand Needles, right? And I was looking through the paintings and stuff and see if there was like
Yep.
a picture of Thousand Needles so she could have like a picture of her home, like, that she hasn't been back to a long time. But it's like I could just like go and get a picture of Thousand Needles and put it
The
in
picture
her
you
house
want
for, like
too.
the RP. Yeah, the picture I want, like that it has like a good idea, exactly. So that's from like an RP standpoint, I love it. But also from just like a we do fun and memorable things in WoW. Like let's say I win a trader raid. Imagine, like I would want to take a selfie of me, and I'll be like, "That's from when I won the trader raid," like So like stuff like that would be really
Do
special
you
and engage with the world more.
do you think that they should allow you to upload things from outside WoW into it?
No, because people are just gonna make. I mean, people are already making like
Yeah, that's
enormous
insane.
Xal'atath foot like mosaics for their house. I think it will take a little bit away from it, where it's like, oh, like I could just like download picture Thousand Needles on Google Images, right? It's like no, it's much cooler if I go to a place, I scout it out, I'm looking for where can I get the best picture of my character chilling on a Thousand Needles or whatever. It's so much more. It integrates you more into the world if you have to take the picture in the world, and then there's gonna be amazing pictures people will take that are like really hard to get shots, like of really rare combinations of things with maybe multiple people who have to like get together to like I have to use this toy to put the rainbow in the background or whatever. Like it's gonna be so much cooler if you have to craft the shots yourself than drawing it in Photoshop.
The odds that when this feature does come out, if it does, that all the pictures in Lithian's house will be my dead body on the ground while he's doing this face.
That would be
Yes.
so funny. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna see lots of funny
It's a
collages of like
tribute.
100 pictures of women's bare feet, like,
Oh,
but people
God.
Oh my god.
people are already doing that.
That's
So
They'll find
it's
Zaltath
terrible.
in Koresh and just go like zoom in,
Yeah.
zoom in, zoom
just
in.
I mean, people are already doing such funny and creative stuff with just like Zaltath portraits and like remember the pillow thing? Where people like did the
Yep.
pillow with Zaltath's face on it and stuff. It's like this is opening up a whole nother creative avenue that I feel like wouldn't be too hard to put in the game and is gonna drive up engagement with like the world
Yeah.
so much. And
Yeah.
that's something that's hard to figure out how to get us to go to these old places meaningfully and enjoy all this work that's been put in over 15 years. It's like this is such an awesome way to do that. So hype feature, 10 out of 10 feature. Love it.
And
If this is it.
Yeah, if that's it. I love that they are calling out that someone is taking a housing decor item that was supposed to be like this crown, and then of course we're using it for their
Oh my
stove.
god. Such a
Mhm.
cute this is a great cinematic. I'm gonna go and watch it right after this, but like this is the character that like WoW I feel like has been losing its sense of character. Think about the War Within cinematic. It was such a downer and not interesting and not flashy and not fun.
I love the
And
War Within
like
cinematic, the opening one with
it's
Ron.
not a
and
good yeah, it's not a good opening cinematic though. It's not fucking it doesn't have a voice or a character that get people interested in the game. This is funny. This reminds me of like the Mists of Pandaria cinematic, where it's like you've got your alliance guy and your horde guy, and they're fighting, and there's a panda, and it's a little bit cheeky, and it's a little bit fun, you know. And it's like this is like the tone.
Well,
of
this is like
game.
an amazing Super Bowl ad, right? Like this is
Oh,
exactly
is
what
it
they.
Super Bowl ad?
I'm not like they haven't said anything, but I like this is what I could see
Banger,
as a Super Bowl ad.
banger Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
Absolute banger Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. And I feel like it speaks to a lot of people. It's like, you want to go kill a cool monster? Like, it's like, yeah, it's like you can make it a kettle stand in your house. Like 10 out of 10. Holly Longdale, you fantastic lady. Like, you're a genius for putting this out. And I've changed all my opinions
Holly
about
getting the
you.
Wow.
credit.
Holly. In fact,
Yeah.
when I'm in the elevator with her, this is the only thing I'm going to talk about. I would say that cinematic you greenlit was fan-fucking-tastic, and you're gonna make $1 billion off of this game again.
And then Scrap's gonna take her phone
billion.
out and try to snap a picture of her feet.
Right. Well, she'll have shoes on. She's a classy lady, so.
No, she'll have those Talon shoes that they always put in the tier sets.
Oh, with
I
the
was gonna say
claws?
Yeah.
I was going a bit of a rant when I saw Lithy was showing me his Harrenir character and his fucking piggies were out, dude. Like, what is with the feet people? Like, we need to ask more questions about where is this foot content coming from. There is a guy deep in Blizzard who is okay in greenlighting all the paw feet, all the foot shots, and now the Harrenir fucking feet out all the time, even though they're just like regular ass feet. Like, come on now, we gotta find this guy and we gotta ask him questions.
Why is it gotta be a guy?
It's a guy. Are you kidding me? It is a guy. Like, what? It's not even a question.
Yeah, I know.
All right. One last thing that came out of the event, Scrap, was so you pointed out no Plunderstorm, right?
Yeah, rip.
They did
But
announce
Prop Hunt,
though.
honestly, Prop Hunt is fine.
Well, it's not
Like,
it's not done there. They
what is
did
this?
call out there will be a new standalone game mode, much to akin of the Plunderstorm, coming out in
Okay.
late autumn, is what they're quoting. We don't know anything about it other than we did have way back when they were talking about experiments, and again referencing Plunderstorm at the time, talking about like the idea of what's like
Vampire
Hunter-
Survivor.
Survival, yeah.
Shut up. Are we gonna break up the guild again?
right? Or like some things like, for example, an Among Us type game, which would be
Oh,
obviously.
dude, shut up.
That
Dude,
said,
I love
that
this
that was
State of
like
Azeroth.
2 years ago, so it's not really nothing came out of it. However, they did kind of they have this image of it. They did kind
That
of
looks very
tease that
cool.
maybe it is going to be very
What if
spooky.
it's werewolf?
Oh, dude, or Blood on the
That's
Clock
the
Tower.
Among
This
Us
could,
thing.
no, yeah, it is. And Blood on the Clock Tower is like a very popular Among Us werewolf type
Yeah.
game, and this looks like it. Like, there's like houses and stuff. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
so this looks to be Stormsong Valley. There's someone took a
Mhm.
screenshot. I don't have it of it right now, of like a neighborhood, not neighborhood, whatever, little town in Stormsong, and it kind of matches almost identical. So
dude, you could figure out who the Storm Song, like, because in Storm Song there's this whole thing of like who are the Void worshippers. I
Yeah.
don't remember what they are. So that could totally fit a werewolf vibe. Like, we got to find out who are the the tentacle guys in the town.
So assuming it is that, it sounds like you are excited, Scrap. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this State of the
Just a
Azeroth
little-
is
just a little bit.
dude. This State of the Azeroth is hype. I'm super
Okay.
hype about
Well,
the State of
that
the
leads
Azeroth.
me into one of my final questions around the whole State of the Azeroth. Is a lot of people were left deflated by this. They thought, man, I didn't
What?
get anything like really meaty and
Haters.
But it sounds like Scrap isn't in that boat. Lithium and I
Prop
ask
Hunt
you,
ain't enough meat on the table for you, dude. Prop Hunt's enough. Like,
Lithium and I ask you, what do you guys think? Were you hyped?
Yeah, I mean, it's what I expected it to be. I think people were expecting way too much, and I don't blame them for thinking that, because Blizzard released that kind of announcement talking about how they're going to go through all their games over like a couple day period, and did like the 35-year anniversary, so everyone was getting hype, and we're going to talk about the future roadmaps for retail and classic, and everyone of course was like, oh, classic, are they going to talk about Classic Plus? And I think everyone just hyped them, they worked themselves into a shoot, as Hulk Hogan would say. And and just they watched it and they're like, wait, that was it? They just showed us the roadmaps? Yeah, they showed you exactly what they said they were going to. I'm sorry that it wasn't as
No,
exciting
and
as you
more,
thought it
and
was
more.
going
We
to
got
be.
we got
Yeah.
features coming in, patches we aren't even going to see on the PTR for 8 months or whatever.
Right. And I think they do one of these a year, and it's usually along these lines. And maybe it's a little overproduced for what it is. Like this State of Azeroth could have been an email, but
No, it's fun to hype stuff like this, like a Nintendo
Yeah.
Direct, like
yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
I don't know that.
I think before Lithian goes, I just think in a year where there's a BlizzCon, I don't know what people were expecting to really come of this
Yeah, that's
outside
true.
of just a very. But yeah, go ahead, Lithian.
Right. And well, that's the thing. Like, I don't think they should have called it the State of Azeroth, by the way. I think it's poor choice in name, but I think that, there's a lead in to BlizzCon. There is a BlizzCon this year, so there's going to be a lead into that, but they can't it's they I think they did exactly what they set out to do. They teased a bunch of stuff. They talked about their roadmap at a very high level. At this point, that's probably what they got, and I think that they don't want to overcommit, but they want to get people excited. So they put a roadmap out there that illustrates a lot of stuff that they have in progress that they're working on, and I didn't watch it because I have a job and I was working. I was in meetings all day, but I will say, the cinematic for the neighborhood stuff, a lot of the stuff they announced is really exciting for probably the majority of the player base.
Hmm.
Well, we
So
even got new raid announcements that are outside the standard rotation. Like that's a huge
right,
deal.
yeah. I
Dude,
think
Delve Raid, just like the
Delve-
phrase Delve Raid is
Delve Raid.
plenty enough for a State of an Azeroth, I think.
Right. Like I don't know what people like. I don't think they could have done anything that would make everybody happy
Other
everywhere.
than
I
announce
think
like WoW 2.
Wow,
yeah,
Agree.
like even then people would still be upset about it. They'd say, "Oh, why are they doing this?"
I'd
It's
probably
like
be
people
upset if they do WoW too.
yeah, people have to complain about things, but I think and I'm not like a Blizzard, just wholehearted advocate. I think Blizzard's doing a good job with the games that they own for most of them, not all of them. Um but I don't know, man. I thought it was fine, and the way we just talked about a lot of this stuff, the excitement you saw on Scrap's face is probably the excitement that you see in a lot of people that are like Scrap, just a bunch of casuals.
Look, I speak for the people. Like I am the litmus test for the people. I know at all times what the people want, and the people want prop
I-
hunt. So
They want Frank with fat
Well,
naturals.
yeah, and they
Oh
do.
my gosh.
We doubled our viewer count with
Nobody
the
nobody
That is
wants
true.
All
that.
right,
That is
context. For those who
Well,
don't understand what they're literally saying, we obviously after every episode we have a discussion about what the thumbnail should be. And because Quasi had quit, Scrap's idea was we need to do a Quasi-esque, AI generated a woman with fat
Booby
naturals
woman.
is the word you're going to use. That's not my
so
language.
the reason I use the phrase fat naturals, I would never use that phrase on an actual woman, is because there's this I discovered niche meme. I thought it was a household meme with Gandalf with fat naturals. And there's lots of pictures of him and people cosplay it, Google it. It's a lot of fun. Not while your friends are around. But I just had
Don't
this vision
recommend.
because Frank is his character is like a Gandalf.
Yeah, my character,
looking
not
sorta
me, by
guy.
the way.
No, I wouldn't draw you with fat naturals. That's so disrespectful. But your character.
Ian McKellen can get it, but not anyone else.
Well,
Yep.
he already got it. I didn't do that to him. Somebody else did, and I laughed at it. But your character looks like Gandalf, and then we had to do a booby thumbnail, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna do the Gandalf fat natural meme, and everyone's gonna see it. They'll be like, oh, she did the call back to the meme. But I did learn this past week that is not a household meme. That is my household meme that
Well,
enters my brain frequently.
From our household to yours.
Yeah,
Here's a
exactly.
meme.
But now from my household to everybody, because I'm telling you guys about it, and now when you see Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, you'll be like, oh yeah, Gandalf fat naturals. So
That's
So
the end of
that's
that
it.
context.
Did not
I don't want
know.
to talk anymore about my fat naturals.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know that was a
sorry,
thing, by the
yeah.
way.
Well, now you do. Aren't you glad?
Yeah.
And Scrap is
No,
taking credit for
not
the fact that
really.
our episode doubled in viewership last week because she
I
thinks
Yeah, it
the
was all
thumbnail
her.
for people.
It was all her in that thumbnail.
It was because of the thumbnail,
Sorry.
I think. Yeah.
All right. So to wrap up, you guys feel like it's all, the expected hype. I hope that we'll see more at BlizzCon. Like, if this were a BlizzCon, would this be enough for you?
No.
No, not for a
BlizzCon.
con.
Not for
I
BlizzCon.
mean, if they did it every year and there wasn't a big announcement always expected, then maybe. But since they don't do it every year and it's kind of lining up with other things that are potentially a bigger announcement, especially with other games, like I think that this probably wouldn't be enough.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
worried
for
about.
sure.
I don't know how like they did. I think they gave us a lot. They gave us a lot of information. And I don't know what they can tell us at BlizzCon that isn't going to spoil things. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering, how do they
So-
top this without spoiling, you know?
Oh, I mean, I think they're gonna tease. What's the next expansion called?
Last Titan.
The Last Titan.
I think they're because they have to tease the story to that expansion, right? And how they're gonna get from where we're at today to where we're gonna go, and they're
Yeah.
gonna tease out a couple other things. But I don't know. I'm hoping like this is my first BlizzCon. I've never
too.
been to another one, and I'm hoping that it is really good. Otherwise, I'll just go back to Gen Con.
I
Well,
do
see-
think that
Go on, Aya.
I do think that this is probably one where maybe retail WoW isn't the most hype thing that's probably going to be there. I know we talked about there might be a new StarCraft. If Classic Plus is real, there's going to be a lot of hype around that. So
Yeah.
I think retail can. It doesn't necessarily need to have anything super big, but it would be nice to get some things to be excited about going into 27.
Yeah, I mean, Classic
Yep.
WoW is obviously big, but it's not retail, right?
No, it's
The
not.
Classic WoW feeds retail, not the other way around.
Mhm.
And so, yes, I of course want like Classic to have their moment. I'm not trying to take that away from them, but I just like I look at this list, I go, okay, cool. They told us a lot of little things, but like they added up to a big thing. And you know, I looked at Ioski's face when I asked, "Would this be enough for BlizzCon?" And he was like, Like you looked offended that I said that. You're like,
Well, the
"No."
problem with BlizzCon is, as somebody who's never been to BlizzCon, I'm a BlizzCon hater. I think it's a little pretentious to charge such an exorbitant amount of money to just draw you to a place to announce stuff, right? It's not
Well-
like Gen Con or whatever, where it's like there's a ton of cool stuff to do. It's like this is an excuse to come and meet your guildmates in real life, talk about this dumb game we spend too much of our time on, and announce things that could have been an
Well,
email,
Sure,
allegedly.
there's other stuff there, and it's a celebration of Blizzard itself. So
But that's the thing.
I think that's
usually,
pretentious. I think
yeah,
it's
but
pretentious.
usually, well, to charge money for that, yeah.
You
Yeah,
want to
no.
know what's pretentious is the
What?
people going to that charity dinner. That's pretentious, right?
Yeah,
Anyways-
and you will be seeing
anyways.
Io and Frank and Lithian there.
the BlizzCon thing though is like when you go there, at least one of the perks is that you get to play the expansion. You know, very small amount, but you get to play it first. And we won't probably see a Last Titan build in that, right? I just don't know. You know, what are we going to get in line to play for with WoW? Is it going to be
We're
the
gonna go
raid
to
in
the beach.
12.1.5?
We're gonna skip that.
I
We're
do
gonna
have
be at the
to
beach.
start my get into beach shape workout soon
You
for
don't
sure.
have to get into beach shape. It's gonna be chill at the beach.
Lithian's going to be showing us
So-
up. He's going to be so skinny, you know?
There's
Um,
no. Thanks a
All
lot,
right.
Frank.
Sorry. So that said, we got a couple minutes. We're a little.
Well, can I say something as a
Yeah.
little bow
Oh,
thing
God.
on this? Just thinking about how I'm feeling about Midnight compared to old podcast listeners, how I was feeling about War Within. I was the biggest fucking hater of how they were rolling out War Within. Like it
Oh.
just like it looked shit. I felt like everything they were announcing felt scrapped together and didn't have an identity. And it just I was feeling really bad about this game that I play a lot of my time. Going into Midnight, I'm feeling really good. Like, you know, they're not throwing a gimmick in front of our face. I always thought those gimmicks were stupid. Like the zones look awesome. I heard from you guys the dungeons look good. I'm excited to
Mhm.
see hopefully a turnaround in the story. Like we're starting from the worst it can possibly be, so the only way to go is up. Like I'm feeling really good about Midnight. And this stuff I'm feeling really good about this year, about things that are coming out this year. I can see me, you know, like, okay, oh yeah, I'm gonna pop back in because I want to check out the prop hunt. I'm gonna pop back in and do this. You know, this is, you know, if I hadn't been subbing just for the trading posts, this would probably keep me subbed all year, like this roadmap. So
New trading post today, by the way.
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not. Are we gonna look at that, Frank? Because I feel like it's
I
kind of a
didn't
mad
pull it
one.
up. I didn't pull it up.
That's
Hold on.
fine.
We can talk about it.
It
but,
isn't the February trading posts are usually the catch-up trading posts where they give you a chance to buy things.
Is that
It's-
so? I feel
Yeah.
like
it's a bunch of
little.
Valentine's
I feel like
stuff.
it's a lot of recolors in this one. Like there's not. I didn't get a
They
really
put-
good
I didn't
look at
look
it.
at
I
it.
So a
think
little
there's new
little
weapons.
fun fact. They put a bunch of vendors for you to
That's
buy
a
things.
recolor.
A bunch of vendors for you to buy things if you missed out on them throughout the year. But there's
Like
still
that's
some.
just a recolored mount. That's a recolored outfit. The a noob one.
That's a recolored mount?
Yeah, it's from Korthia. Korthia mount.
I don't know.
I have the purple one.
Okay.
That's a recolor of the Lunar New Year. That one's new, and it looks pretty sick. That's a recolor. That's
Well, these
obviously
are
a
always,
recolor. Yeah, always. These are I think are new. Okay, so this is kind of the new stuff. These look, I think, pretty good. But I don't know. This one, I'm just like, I don't want to say they phoned this one in a little bit, but it's a savior. It's a savior tokens month, I think.
All right, she's
Savior
dooming on
tokens
it.
month. I'm not dooming on it. It's never a doom to get free things. It's definitely never a doom to save tokens.
Right.
But I don't see myself buying any of this stuff.
All right. Well, we'll wrap the episode today. For you, Scrap, to tell us about Minecraft. I'm going to put on the screen here right now. You apparently made skins for our characters.
I did. Oh, my skin. I can't show my skin because it's not done yet. Yeah,
Well,
are you putting it on the screen?
Well, I'm going to edit it in. I'm not literally putting it up
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
okay. Well, I'll finish it tonight because I'm almost done
Okay.
with mine.
But yeah, so we'll have our own skins. Mine looks like Frankenberry. Iaski's
Yep.
looks like his paladin, and Lithian's looks like some random
His
dude in
Herner.
18 movies.
No, it's his Herner.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so we're gonna be playing Minecraft, and I'll be streaming it, and my toxicity jar will probably fill when I get angry every time you do something I ask you not to. Is this something we want to tell people? Come to the Discord and join us?
Yes. So what I'm thinking is that you will probably I don't think we're gonna put the server into general because we might get a griefer in here.
I
But
would say come and ask to join. We're
come
not gonna-
in, ask, and someone will whisper you the server address. And we can have 30 people. So I think we'll have room for just some Minecraft enjoyers. There's gonna be a little bit of time gating. Like we're all gonna do the dragon together, as many people as possible. So you can't do the dragon by yourself, sort of thing. And maybe we'll time gate the nether too. I don't know. So there obviously gentleman's game, no griefing type shit, right? But yeah, I would love to see tons of people play. Minecraft is my game, dude. I fucking love Minecraft. I watch tons of Minecraft content. So my goal is I want to make sure that Frank enjoys Minecraft because he feels like he hasn't gotten a really good Minecraft experience yet. So we're going to try to give that to Frank.
And my toxic jar will be $200 more heavy when I get through it.
Yep. Well, if you get toxic at creepers, that doesn't count, right?
Toxic at creepers.
You
We'll
remember the
fucking
time?
see.
Remember the time Frank tried to play Elden Ring?
But he wouldn't let me play with him, so this is gonna be different because I think I'm a good introducer of games. I'm gonna go at your pace. We'll have a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to show me how to play because I don't know either.
You can come too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be community fun, but we're starting on Tuesday, so come in on Tuesday.
Lithian's gonna add the Discord link to our website if it's not already there.
It's there.
Around themagetable.com. And any last words from you guys? Lithian, you want to tell us any last thoughts?
No. Yeah, no, not really. I can't think of anything good.
Okay. What about you, Scrap?
No, I'm very excited to play some Minecraft, and then I'll be in a Minecraft haze for a month, and then midnight will be here. So sick.
Cool. I ask you.
Yeah, I was gonna mention this when we were talking about the new housing features, but the copy and paste stuff and the import stuff, I have a feeling that's one of those things that could potentially be bugged and ruin your stuff the first couple of days. So I would say use that stuff. Just be careful not to, get something you really care about in a position where it accidentally gets deleted or you can't get it back or something. I don't know. Just be careful.
Hopefully before they launch that, they'll have the save your house feature.
Save your house.
Yeah, that you could save a house preset because there's a thing where it's maybe I want to have a Christmas preset where I have all these decorations up,
yeah,
and
that's
then
a good idea.
Next Christmas I want to just be able to click the preset. I don't have to do it all over again.
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Or if I have an idea to make a cool haunted castle build, but I already have my two houses filled out the way I want it, and I don't want to fuck it up and then have to rebuild it from scratch. Have a housing preset, which we mentioned before. That would be a really good feature.
Frank, any final words?
Any final words from Frank?
I am going to continue my theme of 2026 being the year of movies coming back. And can I tell you guys about a guilty
God,
pleasure?
I hope so.
A guilty
Yeah, I love
pleasure
getting
movie I
movie
have.
recommendations. Yeah, let's have it.
Mean Girls.
Oh, I
No,
love
that's
Mean
that's not a
Girls.
guilty pleasure. That's just a pleasure. Like that is a
That's a
that's a
pleasure.
that's a
Yeah.
masterpiece of a movie,
Great
right?
movie.
One of my guilty pleasure movies is The Devil Wears Prada. I
Oh, that's
fucking
a
love
great
that.
Excited for the
movie.
second one?
There's a second one?
The trailer came out tonight, and I
Oh.
I have a feeling it's gonna be a bad movie, but I don't care. Man, I fucking love the first one. I'm gonna go see that.
Do you
So
really? That's funny. I mean, that's the
2026,
talent
the year of
in that
movies.
movie
Devil
is
Wears
great.
Prada comes out May 1st. Dude, I'll tell you, I watched the Super Mario movie with my kids again. I didn't hate it
Yeah.
as much this time around. So
You didn't.
I've
You
never
hated it the
seen it.
first time. I thought.
remember,
it
I was
fun.
really annoyed with like, why the hell does he hate
Yeah.
mushrooms? And like, this doesn't make sense. What are they doing?
Yeah, it was a fun kids movie.
Yeah,
You
it was
know,
fun.
I'm not a big Mario like truthist where I'm like, it's
It
gotta be
wasn't about the
Truthist?
truth.
canon
It's just like
compliant.
it just didn't like with Chris Pratt, of course, like is in everything now.
Yeah, no, that was.
But
just
Jack
funny.
Black,
But the
he
second
crushed
one
his
looks like.
Bowser.
Oh,
you
he's
know?
so good, and they let him
Yeah.
sing and stuff, which
Yeah.
you always gotta let Jack Black sing. But the second one looks like a banger. It looks
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the trailers and
So
stuff.
many-
It's a flashy, beautiful movie.
I'm listing out obviously some obvious, they're probably going to be fine movies, but there are some other movies. I'm telling you guys, 2026 year movies. So we'll
Okay.
I think
continue.
the James Bond movies might still be on Netflix, so make sure you watch the best video game movie of all time, GoldenEye.
Tweeted that
Oh
yesterday.
my
Goldeneye.
gosh. I
In
played
fairness,
so much of
GoldenEye is
that.
the movie that got me into James Bond. It is a brilliant movie. So,
Mm.
all right, well, that's it for episode 71. Again, we're on the road to BlizzCon, so you will hopefully see us every week, but two, and we're gonna have to decide when we use those 2 freebies. But we're not letting the
Well, I
snow
have to go
stop
to the
us.
lake, so that probably
Every
won't-
week,
that's
every
when
week I say that. Every week you tell me we have to go to the lake, and it's like, yes.
My brain is like a goldfish, Frank. If you prompt it, I'll spit out the prompt.
Tell us in the comments if
I'm
you
remembering.
think Scrap has a goldfish brain, because I think none of us are surprised. Damn
Yeah.
it, that was Toxie. Fuck, I gotta.
Oh! Another $10.
All right.
Oh, the trap.
It
So,
was a trap. A little
um,
baiting.
that said, we're on the road to BlizzCon. Continue to like and subscribe. Your comments have been awesome. You guys have been feeding the algorithm, and we really appreciate it. Continue to do so. Until next week, that's us from around the Mage table. Have a great weekend, WoW, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.